Hi? Sorry? Oh yeah, no, I just plugged my headphones in because I had my
Oh,
speaker on before. Sorry. You can hear me?
So,
Everything's good?
yep.
Okay.
So, Hangouts on Air is going away later this year. Just FYI, I got this
Oh,
little message here. They said they're going to have something called U2.com webcam, but I don't know if that's going to do the same thing. So, we might have to look into alternatives. We'll see
okay.
though.
Okay.
But for now, we are fine. All right. So, first off, we have Stray Kids with side effects. Uh oh. Oh, wait a minute.
come on, Stray Kids.
I think I'm gonna have to. I don't know why it doesn't let you. Thank you, whoever did that.
Oh, I didn't think that would work.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I was about to say, is this the whole entire group? Oh my god. But I realized it's dancers as well.
Want to
Not that you
stand
can
and
tell who is who.
beats for you, so listen close. Oh, okay, they ruined it.
Well, that went in a direction I wasn't expecting.
I've never
This
heard
is
a song ruined so quickly
so dramatic.
for no reason. He looks like Bam Bam.
Yeah.
There's something so un JYP about them.
I
Like,
get what.
What is going on? What is
what?
this? Should I throw holy water at this? Or like what's going on?
You said what? Not.
No, I was like, should I throw some holy water at this? Because I
Oh.
feel like something might come out of my screen.
Okay, this little
Oh.
breakdown is cute, but I know it's only downhill from here. So, do y'all remember when K-Nets were roasting their last video we reacted to?
Yeah, the one that dropped from like off the charts, right?
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh, it's not that bad."
Yeah.
Oh, how wrong we were.
That was a lie.
Oh wow, that escalated really quickly. Well, this guy's voice is deep, eh?
This has no melody, like, at all.
This looks like you guys remember that video of those goth kids like dancing in a parking lot?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
god, stop.
That they use for a meme. Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm confused. Are they like? Because it kind of looks like a prison van, but like with no windows for whatever reason. And these two guys are fighting, and like now the tire has a hole in it. Oh, are they? Have they made up? I'm confused.
I don't even know.
Maybe. Oh my god, are they tethered? Is that their tethered versions? There, and then the good
You're,
ones.
you're trying to tell me that these people have actually seen us?
Well, I mean, if black people are doing it, they're gonna want to do it too. They just don't have to like black people to actually,
I'm
emulate them.
I'm sad that part of Twice's budget is going to Stray Kids. That's just maddening.
I'm so confused.
This is like super angsty, all this screaming and yelling, and it's like I don't believe it, and it's just
Like you feel like it's try hard.
It
Yeah.
is.
You know what it kind of reminds me of when like SME Lee Min was like really obsessed with like J Rock and tried to force it on some of his groups, aka
Oh,
Shiny.
examples.
Yeah, not
What's the
good.
shiny? Like
Not Shiny. Sorry,
examples?
Shinhwa. Shinhwa.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah, not Shiny. Sorry. Okay, I'm so confused.
they're trying to do the whole let's put a theory in our music video.
They can try again.
Yeah, because like there was a different version of them in the bus than in those like that open concept Jeep. So now I'm kind of like, what was going on? What was
You
going
make
on?
Stray Kids
That's like
stay.
their fan motto, I think. Like you know how I'm not even gonna attempt to try to explain it. It don't make no sense anyway.
I mean, it just. I don't know what they were going for here. I mean, maybe they're trying to separate themselves from the pack and do something different, but that wasn't it. Like,
It was creative. Let's say
huh,
positive. Do you guys have any like statements of positivity about
I almost said
they're
something, but I'm gonna be quiet. Because it was not positive.
that choreo looked difficult. I mean,
God, you guys are so mean.
I didn't say it though. I didn't say it.
Look, I just look up the lyrics for this song and it makes even less sense. So I'm gonna leave it at I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, you know what? The dance moves seem like they were very difficult to do. I didn't mind the rap tone. I'm not sure so much about what they were saying and what was going on, but I like when people have like a deeper voice when they rap, like talk. So for me, that worked pretty well. I thought that they were better at rapping than they were at anything else too in that group. I mean, I'm not sure if that says a lot, but yeah,
The bar's low.
yeah. You know,
mhm.
it's not as good as their last song, but
Yeah.
I only know two songs from Stray Kids, so I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world so far. I'm
Not
sure
the
there's a
worst
theory
thing
on
in the
this.
world.
I'm sure there's a theory on this thing.
Um. Well, can somebody do? Does any of you like? Do any of you want to sort of try to explain what was going on in the video? Because I was a little confused. I didn't know if you guys caught on. I was just dumb.
I thought they were tethered, to be honest, and they
Oh,
weren't. So there you go.
well.
I feel like that they were trying to like express the angst going on in their soul, and that's why the guy was like on the ground at the end because he was like he finally like got over whatever his angsty teenage pain was, and they're fine again. That was my interpretation. I can't see it being much more complicated
Much
than
deeper.
that, but then maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, the song
Okay,
is called Side Effects, so.
so apparently I'm seeing two theories right now.
Okay.
The kid on the floor, his name is Hyunjin. One theory is that he imagined everything, and that like that's why the fight that he had with that guy seemed like nothing was going on. I don't know if they took a lot of pills and maybe they were brainwashed and that's why they don't remember, or if it was all in his head because he's been taking some pills and this is like a side effect. That seems to be a theory that is out there in the world.
Bold of them to do drugs in a music video in this climate.
Okay, what's the next one? Next group.
All right, next one.
Let
Oh.
me delete some of these Stray Kids videos because honestly, once was more than enough.
Ugh.
Pink Magic. Let's see.
Boo. Yisung sucks.
Okay.
Can he move the top of his forehead?
What?
Well, you're
That's
not
your
a
take?
fan. Okay.
Like he's definitely too old to have a face that smooth. I'm just saying.
Ash,
Yeah.
DC.
What am I supposed to see?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Donghae! But he cut his hair. I'm sad.
It's it reminds me of something, but I can't think of it. But it is it's different.
I mean, I
Uh,
would say that I'm happy it's not another boring, crappy ballad
yeah.
because he's pretty much known for that. That and blackface.
Well, some way to put it.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes there's a silence because everybody's like keyed in and something is so good? I don't think this is one of those times.
No, this is not good.
No. This sounds like something that like Inugu would do.
Yeah. I feel like if he was more charismatic, he could carry a song like this.
This was like it like a knockoff of Jung Hyun Shi's music video, like the aesthetic of the video.
No, that wouldn't be surprising.
Would you say?
I said that would not be surprising.
Yeah. Do you guys think he's vocally talented?
He
This
is
place is
actually
alright.
one of their main vocalists.
Oh.
When you have to cry because the fact is so sad.
Yeah, he's actually one of like the main vocalists. I think he's like third after Kyun. Is it Kyun and Ryo Wook or whatever? What's his good? I'm not really good with the names of the people that I don't like in this group.
Yeah. I was about to
So
say, I don't know any of those names.
yeah, I just know Donghae.
I just know like blackface. Like when I think of
Hyun.
Suju, it's just like a picture of blackface appears in my head.
Okay. Well, that was a bunch of
Stuff. Ash, did you
Throwback.
add my throwback?
Oh yeah. Hold on just a second.
Okay, so I guess I'll give a little bit of information. So Jewelry was always, I think, a four-member group until the very, very end. But they actually had like the record of like the longest running girl group because they were active for like 15 years.
Wow.
But they did have member changes. So they had like this is the second. This is the second version of their group where basically they had the four girls in the beginning and they lost two members and they got two new members here, and they kind of had like two really really big singles. This one and another one before that, and then I guess the two older members left and the new girls came in and like nobody was really feeling for them because they were like an old group and they kind of went away.
Uh-huh.
They're actually signed to the group that had to the company that at Star Empire or Star Entertainment, and I think they actually had at that company also Nine Muses and
Yeah.
not M Black, but one of those other older male groups too.
Star Empire.
Star Empire, yeah. But basically, like, this is a company that, they had a lot of potential with their group, but they never really capitalized on it. Personally, that's what I think. So unfortunately, none of the groups like hit it that big. Just big enough,
Okay.
like single wise, but like very underrated. Because I mean, like Nine Muses is completely underrated. They had so many bops.
So they're like the
But
cheetah girls from the first movie.
oh, Zia, that's the name of the group that is with the company.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
I know them.
Yeah.
Macho Top. Yes.
Up to the top.
So yeah, and Zia was like also one of those groups that like were pretty big, and then like, you know, they never really hit the top. I don't think, but
Uh-huh.
underrated groups with so much potential. So this is this is one of their biggest hits. And actually, last year they came together and they reunited and they performed this on one of those like variety shows and it was like a big deal. So
Oh,
yeah.
all right
Okay.
then. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Before we
What?
do that,
Yeah.
we never watched Red Velvet.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I'm excited because
So
I haven't heard a single thing, so it'll be
that
fresh.
song is so divisive. I'm gonna let you guys know.
Well, how
From what
about
I've been
this?
seeing.
How about this? Of the people who have listened to it so far, did you like it? Yes or no?
No.
What
I
song?
haven't Red
Zimzaladim.
Velvet.
Oh, I don't really listen to them, so
Yeah.
I
So
haven't
like
listened
here's
to
the
it yet.
thing, like there's some parts of it that like I really like and that's really catchy, but for the most part it's a bad song. And Red Velvet stands have been really obnoxious on the internet talking about, oh well, if you just understood what good music is, you would know what that this is a good song and that they're not afraid to try new things and be experimental. But the song literally sounds like Electric Shock for half of it and Red
Yeah,
Light
people
for the other
compared it
half.
to
Yeah.
FX. Yeah.
So it is actually a very FX song, but none of the girls in Red Velvet are charismatic enough to like pull it off like
Yeah.
FX would. So
Apparently, the live performances, make it even worse. So
it does. The dance moves are so bad. Like the choreography is so bad.
I want to
Like
see a lot.
oh my god. But yeah, well let's watch the music video.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
all right, Zimzaballoon.
pass.
Wow. I
Jay's
mean,
going on break.
He's gonna go make a sandwich.
Well, I actually have a piece I need to cut, so
I was Wendy with her Valley Girl voice.
Boo.
Not her black girl voice, by the way.
yeah. Girl, great.
Just wait.
This music video has budget though.
Just wait.
Huh?
That's everybody's reaction when they get to that part.
can we stop this right now, please? Like, please.
Oh, and it gets worse. Look at Joy's
Hair.
hair.
What?
Yeah, you haven't seen Joy's dreadish, whatever the hell it is.
It's actually like a form of box braids I've been informed of. So yeah. I think I realized that seeing Irene be like the best part of the video, like rap wise, was when I realized it was a bad song.
Where's
I
Sean
mean,
Kingston?
it's Irene.
It feels like it wants to be. You know how like Blackpink tracks always have like a disjointedness to them?
Yes. You know what I noticed with this song and Really Bad Boys? That they've been trying to add a bit more of a Blackpink vibe to their songs. And that's why they have like
Yeah.
those dance breaks at the end and like the like almost chorus like or cheer like part of it.
Yeah.
Because that's at the end of the song too.
Okay, this part's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's parts that are pretty okay. And then
Is that moon a Cheerio or a cheese?
probably cheese.
And it's back to the whatever.
This.
Yeah.
Repetition isn't always like great.
This is totally a Blackpink like ripoff with
And
the
then
Yeah.
with
and this
They even have elephants in the video.
What is she? he wearing? Is that like a rug?
You
A
know
green
what? It's
rug.
funny. Before
Look.
I even watched the video, someone made a comment that their outfits are just as bad as the song in the music video, and I didn't really catch it until I actually watched till the end of the video and was like, those outfits are really bad. The song's really bad. The music
Okay.
video is doing a lot.
It has a
Uh,
circus concept.
uh, uh, anyways.
As a positive, I did like honestly after like the second time I listened to it because I saw the music video first and then I just tried to listen to the song itself just to see if like I would have a different opinion on it. The Zim Zalabim part was really catchy. Like I found myself like at the end of the day being like Zim Zalabim Zim Zim like just because I'd heard it just the two times. It was really crazy how like it stuck in my brain. But overall, the song is just doing too much. Like a lot of people were comparing it to "I Got a Boy," but "I Got a Boy" like the song had structure number one, and even when they flipped it up a couple of times, like it was consistent and there was like a plan. You know, like it made sense. This is just like they threw everything that's popular in and copied some FX, copied some Girls' Generation, copied some Blackpink, and just said, "Hey, here's a song."
So what does Zimzalabim actually mean?
It's
Or is
supposed
it
to be like their form of abracadabra, I think, like the
Yeah,
Korean
it's
version of it.
basically like a magic word, like basic. Yeah, like you said.
Mm,
I think I've heard it said like a cartoon or something before, because that was my first thought hearing. I was like, that sounds like I heard it like a cartoon or something.
like some Mary Poppins level stuff?
Yeah.
Feel that.
Any
Apparently,
other?
too.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. I was like, apparently too. This was a song they tried to make. Like, I don't know if Lee Soo-man or like whoever was in charge wanted this to be their title in 2016. So they've been sitting on this song for like 3 years.
Honestly, they probably could have gotten away with it in 2016, not gonna
I
lie.
think so. I
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
it's like not a good version of ice cream cake. Now that was a bop.
Ice Cream Cake was a song that I was
Ice
like,
cream
listen, I'll
cake
give
is
them.
so nasty.
It's a dirty song, but it was the first song that really made me think like this is a group that could make it to the top. Oh, it's so catchy,
La la
dirty and
la la
catchy.
la la
La,
la la.
la, la, la.
Wait, somebody should have made that their throwback. It's
Not
not
it.
really a throwback, but it is for them. I would
Anything
do it.
3 year, anything older than 3 years now is a
K-pop.
throwback.
Seriously.
Throwback.
Any other thoughts? Nope. Well, let's cleanse our palates with jewelry. Our first of our throwbacks here. Um, I know you did a little bit of an introduction about jewelry, Nat. Is there anything else you wanted to say about them before we watch the MV?
Um, you know, I just really appreciate Jewelry and the music that they gave us for the time that they were here and together. Their debut song is actually still one of my favorite K-pop songs. It's not like anything special, but it's just like a solid pop song. And obviously, One More Time is just classic. Just every like I don't think it's like a national song, but I think it's almost up there because everybody knows the dance from what I can see. So enjoy. Hopefully Jimin likes it. I don't know. We'll see.
Uh,
Yes, it's remember it's from 2008. So
okay.
I think
yeah.
they already look better than most of the idols that we see nowadays. They've actually got some melanin in their skin.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like those
I know what you're saying.
um like Eastern European songs. This sounds like the Mr. Saxo beat. That's what this
It
kind of reminds me of.
it actually was like a remake, I think. Like remember how like K-pop was really big into like remakes back in the day? I think this is
Mhm.
actually a remake of like an maybe like a German group or something like that. And then they just sort of like Koreanized it and released it to the public there. Maybe. So, that's probably why it sounds familiar.
Uh huh. Um, Okay.
Baby, one more time.
It feels so show to like showgirlish, like not burlesque dancer, but just I don't know how to explain it.
Well, it's because at this time for jewelry, like they were like a senior group,
Uh
so
huh.
they weren't like fresh faced like girls, at school or singing, to the boy at the beach or whatever.
Uh huh.
This is like their independent, sexy kind of phase.
Uh huh.
So that's probably why. And also, their company didn't have a lot of money, so
Oh.
Oh, they haven't made their video. I mean, it's 2008, so I shouldn't be shocked.
yeah, but it's 2008 in Korea. So I mean, there's
Wait,
like,
I didn't hear anything you just
oh,
said.
sorry, I was like, it's 2008 in Korea. Like
Oh,
this was back in the day when like um Korean music was like still kind of behind pop wise,
uh-huh.
which is why I really liked it. I think now they're too modern, like it's too like with what's popular right now. I kind of like the dated like sound and feel of K-pop back then. What happened to the music video?
Oh, it ended. It went well. It ended and then it went backward.
Oh, that is so weird. But yeah,
Oh,
so
choreography. Okay.
but
Oh, thanks for the history lesson.
yeah, I tend to know too much about things that I like. So
No, it's like understandable.
I do feel like that these girls already have like way more charisma than a lot of the new goo groups that we see nowadays. Or
Oh, sorry. I
no,
don't
go
know how.
ahead.
Well, just before the scene ends, this right here reminds me of Beyonce's "Check on It" music video.
oh yeah. So, that could have been inspiration.
Yeah, that's so funny when we talk about like the dated thing and then just thinking about when that came out.
Yeah. But like also I think it was like a past in K-pop where like they had the point of every like the point move or dance move from every dance. And I kind of like the the chorus here because like when they performed it for the first time in like years last year on that variety show, everybody knew like the chorus choreography. And I feel like people aren't really into that anymore, K-pop.
Uh huh.
Like outside of like when they go on like Idol Room and they just do the dance. Like
I can't. Now
Chunga and
that
stuff
you
like
say
that.
that, I can't think of a single group that I like outside of Shiny that has simple choreography these days.
Baby, one more
Twice kind of
time.
does.
Twice.
I said a group that I like.
Oh, okay,
Every
whatever.
time that has simple choreography.
Whatever.
I mean, no offense to Twice. I'm not a. I mean, I will say I was more impressed with their most recent comeback, but I'm not a Twice fan, so I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, not every group is going to be like for everyone, So that is fine. That is fine. But yes, I love jewelry. And as I said, they're underrated, but they have bops and at least they had a couple of huge singles and they had wins and like things like that. And they were able to make money before they disbanded. So
I mean, they're
That
like
I'm happy about
legends.
it. Yeah,
It was like
exactly.
getting into a time machine. I liked it so much. In
Sorry?
terms of, that was like getting into a time machine, just like seeing like the camera quality that was like zero.
Yeah.
It
Oh my god,
was
you know
so
what?
fun.
I could have picked the Shinwa video and we would have been even farther back in time, okay? But
Girl, I would have had to get my glasses, my
Mm-mm.
monocle.
like the highest like DPI is like 270 something, and you're just like, yeah, that's we're not at HD. We're in HD.
Okay. Jay, is there anything that you want to say about this next throwback video?
In Backyard Legends, get with the program. That's all I got to say.
Okay. It is In Black with Stay.
What?
Well, it's
Oh,
creepy.
that's so cool. It is creepy.
I remember this one.
The high effect. Oh, I know this song.
Wow, I'm the only person who doesn't. Oh, I like
All
it
the
already.
beats. I know.
Oh my god, I love dramatic ass, like not quite slow
Almost
songs.
R&B. Oh.
Yeah, like Tiara used to do and Speed used to do this a lot, like angsty pop music. Love it.
Yes.
Oh, this makes me feel like I'm in like the Twilight novels.
Oh my god, yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? That kind of like
And
dark, angsty.
it's like they live in Seattle and it's always gray and Edward is like holding his nose because he can't stand the Cinderella in the lunchroom. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Oh my goodness, these fashions.
Love it.
This just takes me back.
Love it.
I miss this sound so much,
Me
though.
I
too.
know. It feels I don't know even know how to describe it because it's not like it's like pop it, like early pop, but with a mixture of something else. It's hard to describe for me.
You know what? I think it's because they weren't like even though they had rappers in these groups, they were still pop songs. Now I feel like everybody makes hip hop songs and then they just have singers in them. And if
Uh-huh.
that makes sense,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
where
I
like
think
the instrumental is more important than anything else.
See, this is what how you do like a transition. Like Zimba Zimba Lim could really take notes because they were just trying to switch genre and shock you. This is
Yeah,
more so like everything feels cohesive.
exactly.
they really were like five rains in the
I know.
group.
I was about to say they sound so much like Rain. I'm expecting them to start stripping at any moment.
No, that's not gonna happen. Nope.
Too bad.
Maybe we should have watched 2 p.m. then. No, I'm kidding.
Another
Mm.
time. Another time. I love the fur on his collar. Like I love everything about this. Look at the
You,
fashion. Look
you
at
know what it
how.
is?
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say look at like even look at the clothes that they're wearing here compared to that Red Velvet song.
Yes.
I mean, it's random in a lot of ways and stuff like that, but this makes sense.
It feels like, yeah.
Wendy was
You
wearing some furry green tube top, I think. Like, what was that?
It was a rug.
you know what I think it is that I kind of am like feeling about this more than anything is like it just feels so Japanese. like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but it just feels so Japanese to me.
Abracadabra!
Oh,
Love
we've
it.
already moved on. I thought we were gonna discuss
Oh,
inbox.
yes.
We
Yes.
are.
I liked it.
Me
I
too.
really did.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I really miss that kind of like I don't know
The
what to call it.
hair.
Yeah, like that kind of R&B esque kind of sound, pop sound that they used to do, and like Nat said, now it's just kind of like we need a twerkable instrumental and
They can be twerking. When's the last twerk song that we? Oh, it was that CL song with them dudes. Okay, look at that. But out of how many other songs or videos have
We
we
need a,
watched?
like a true twerk song.
I feel like that's what Jay Park thinks he's releasing every single time he
Oh
has a
Uh,
release.
God, can we just?
anyways, anyone else want to try?
We need to blacklist that name.
Agreed. I'm
Honestly, we
down.
don't really talk about him until he has a song out. Like, I feel like that's the only time we ever talk about Jay Park.
or he
Which is
does something
much
stupid.
already.
Oh yeah, when he does something stupid. Yeah. So maybe it is often. Huh.
How likely do you think it is that he like knows that we talk about him?
Very likely.
Very,
Main
very,
listener,
very likely.
one of the main listeners.
You
Jay Mike is
say
just like, he's
that.
subscribed. He's waiting for a new episode. Okay.
He's like at the company meetings. He's like, we're gonna listen to this whole podcast. So you gotta get comfortable.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that J Park video was one of our most watched ones.
And we got
Anyway,
people hated us for that. Which makes me think it was just J Park bots. Like it was literally him just creating 15 accounts.
He makes all his staff members and all his artists log in and just, I don't know, experience us. Experience us.
And you never know. You never know.
But yes,
well,
abracadabra.
yes. So this is mine because Brown Eyed Girls are queens. I can't think of a bad like MV that they've done. And they usually, they've always been pretty like kind of like the anti-idol. They're like never really been an idol group, but this was like their blow up song. And up to that point they'd been kind of like indie almost. And then this was like everywhere when it came out. It was like everyone could do the well, of course anyone can do the dance, but everyone did the dance and it basically turned them into like idols overnight. But one thing I do like is that even though Brown Eyed Girls became like famous off of the song, they never like tried to drop their sound or become like something that they weren't. They're always the same way that they've always been, always talked about import like deeper issues in their music and try different sounds and things like that. So I have mad respect for them, and yeah, this song slaps. So yeah.
I also like and appreciate that.
What is being shaved? Sorry.
Sorry,
I
that's
couldn't tell
okay.
what part of the body was being shaved, so I was a little bit
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah, they weren't very clear on that. Um, no, I want to say that what I appreciate about all their videos and stuff like that too is that they are pretty much like, these dudes are nothing to me. I will take it and I'll leave it alone when I want to because I'm the boss. I'm a bad bitch. And that's pretty much the vibe from every video I've ever seen from them.
Oh, and this video is scandalous when it came out.
Yes. Oh, and Psy used their the dance for in his Gangnam Style song. So I don't know what the name of the dance is,
I didn't
but
know it had a name.
yeah, that dance thing that they were just doing.
Yeah, I didn't know it had like a name though.
No, there is a name for it because when they were talking about it, they mentioned like they referenced the video and the dance. It's just like I can't remember because I haven't seen an article on that Gangnam Style in so long.
Ash, you have a type.
I have a type.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Every single song and artist that you have told me about, they have the like a very similar vibe and like style and stuff in
Oh,
terms of
okay.
their style of songs.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I do then. I mean, this is like the period when I really started getting into K-pop. So,
You love her.
Are they doing? Oh wow!
Yeah.
Honestly, if you hadn't told me this was a K-pop video,
Brown Eyed Girls did not
I thought
hold
it was
back,
like
yo.
another
But technically, they're not like K-pop because they've always been like a more of a singing group than a K-pop
an idol
group.
group. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was the
exactly.
first song that really made them like
Hey, Jenny.
idols.
Yeah. Well, it's because they were like established almost in their own way, except for Gain or
Uh-huh.
Gain. So especially their rapper.
Wow! Imagine Red Velvet doing this concept.
No, never,
Ooh,
never.
that's some weird.
So if they could get away with it
That'll be
with
their
Joy,
last comeback.
no,
That'll be their last comeback.
no, if they could get away with it with Joy, they would. Because I mean, I feel like they've been sexing that girl up since like ice cream cake, to be honest. But
I will say about Joy though, I think Joy likes to be sexed up. Like I feel like that's why people.
Joy, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was saying I feel like that's why people hate on her because she, you know, like she seems like she enjoys the sexy image more than the others do.
You know what? Joy's gorgeous. So I mean, if that's what she wants, more power to her. But I guess having Yuri in the group and her not being the matinee anymore really freed her up for that. Go, go. Oh, and that's a bomb.
I'm
So he
talking
about to
about
die.
girl, kill him. Oh.
I remember this was a big deal too.
Huge deal.
So they're not gonna show us like 4 different angles and then the reactions of everybody else, like every other K drama. I could just imagine like the entire country shaking in their boots. Oh my
They
goodness.
were.
They
Mhm.
That
were
was
rightfully.
scandalous.
Rightfully.
And the thing is, I don't even really think it's scandalous. It's just scandalous for Korea.
Oh
It
So,
yeah, and the
was.
time too when it came out was like,
They were shook. They didn't know
yeah,
what to do.
they were like the song bangs, but that music video though.
Save the children.
the children don't want to be saved.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, they sure did.
the dance, the iconic dance is called the arrogant dance.
Oh, God,
That's yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
wow. I love that
Any
video. That's great.
any other thoughts on Abracadabra? That girl?
It damn sure wasn't no Zimba Boo
That's
or
what
whatever.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, Jimin, did you have anything to say about your pick?
Um, it's garbage, but it's tasteful garbage. No, seriously, this is my probably out of all of Got 7 songs. I have about 2 or 3 that like I can listen to like regularly. And this was one that when I first found out about them in like K-pop, I listened to, and it's better known as the song with those kids that are dancing in cereal. Like apparently it just went viral for about basically having a scene where they're dancing in cereal. But yeah, it's cute. I hope the girl is 18 in the video. But yeah, here is Got 7 with their
All right.
best song.
Wait, so Jimin, you're telling me that you don't like Never Ever?
Oh my god, I do not like Never Ever. No. Did you think that I would like it?
You know, at first I thought it was trash, but after a couple lessons, it kind of grew on me. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Never
can't get
ever.
into it. No.
No.
To me, is this song and Teenager. That's
Ooh,
got
yes. Ooh, that taste.
see that beat though. So
Yes, that taste.
Um.
didn't know what those things were until yeah, K-pop. This video is so weird.
I bet they hate performing this song.
uh, do they even perform it anymore? I would be shocked if they did.
I don't know. Have to see if they're performing it on their tour right now.
So them starting with Jackson means that the song can only go up, right? Is that?
I mean, the
Honestly, the
song.
singing isn't bad on this song.
Mm. I mean, at least it has a good message. You know?
Yeah.
I thought I had heard the song before, but I guess I had heard a different song. because this is like completely new to me.
You
Really?
might recognize it at the.
Yeah. Oh, I like that braid that they did on her. Oh wait, no, I do know the song. Never
Yeah,
mind. Yeah, this is a good song.
this is such classic Got Seven.
Yeah.
He's really dancing in some sandals and socks.
I didn't even notice that.
I'm gonna need sis to let me not roast her fingernails.
Well, at least like they look like they're having fun.
They keyword is they look like they
Yeah.
are.
I just don't understand why they were like, let's just make them small. Like I don't understand that.
They have to come up with something wacky to do to fit with the song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It is super wacky, huh? Imagine like telling
Is
your mom there's 7 small men in my
in
room.
your room. I have a question about the guy wearing green gloves. Why
Green
is he doing
gloves,
that? Wearing green gloves.
which
When
I'm
they're
not.
He's
in
cleaning.
that maybe, but like when we go back to the group shot, maybe you'll see the green gloves, not this one when they're on the desk. Okay, that's
The crazy thing is, I feel like God Seven is just literally famous based off of their personalities. Not
They
that they don't have
are.
like talent. It's just that their personality just far outshines anything else they do.
I
Oh, are you not
mean,
seeing the guy with the green gloves at the end there?
No, I don't. Oh, Bam Bam.
Is that Bam Bam?
I think that is Bam Bam.
Oh,
Why is he doing
we have more
this?
Jackson. Oh,
Oh,
that
okay.
really
Jackson.
doesn't fit with the rest of the video.
There it is. That fits.
The M&Ms.
Oh,
You see the
so
B's for Bam Bam?
oh,
Or
okay.
bad bitch.
You know what?
But you see, this is also like another song where the dancing, like for the chorus, anyways, and like the point choreography, like is it's easy. It's something that
Yeah,
somebody could pick up really quickly.
you really could.
Yeah.
Um, this was the original Love Yourself.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna have to deal with some armies here. God
I
damn it.
didn't even.
Anyways, they're gonna do
I
nothing.
didn't. I just didn't.
Hi, armies, give us that viewership. Make sure you spread this all over the place. Thanks.
Jay was like, I ain't scared.
Oh my god! Now I want to watch Teenager. Now that it just popped up.
I
Oh,
mean,
this
we're all here.
if it's okay with the rest of y'all, but
I
I mean,
mean, we can if you really want to watch it.
if y'all don't want to, it's cool.
I
Well,
don't
I'm gonna watch
care.
it, so
I will
Watch
go
Teenager.
along with whatever you guys want to do. But
Let me
then can
see
we
if I
watch
can find it.
Adtway? Since
Who?
we are here.
Yes, we can.
I mean, it's only fair if we're gonna watch another Got Seven song, we should just throw
To
in some
be
2PM.
fair, I chose Just Right because it's like the song that made them popular.
Yeah.
Like
Oh no, I'm happy
literally,
you did. It's a cute song. It is like
yeah.
really heartfelt and just kind of adorable, and like it puts them more in a boyfriend space than a lot of
You
the
think so?
songs that I know
I
from.
felt like they were like little rats or something like that, like pets or something.
Yeah, no, I thought the whole point was like it was uplifting and like they were being cute because it's attractive to girls, and shoot, this song's from 2015, eh?
That was probably the most Canadian thing you've ever said.
Oh
What?
yeah, I really noticed the A that time.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, this is so creepy. Teenager is 3 minutes and 33 seconds long and has 33 million views. I think the universe is trying to
Illuminati, Illuminati.
confirm.
Three, three,
Right.
three, 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 three.
Okay, this bop. This is such a good song. What's with the random American football?
You know.
Why not?
They always throw in some American stuff. It don't have to
Honestly,
make sense. It don't have to
most of
make sense.
them, most of them were visuals in this. Well, JB was such a visual. Jackson was a visual in this.
I'm twerking and crying.
What you wanna do? Yeah.
See, that is a nice R&B
Yeah.
instrumental. Oh man, I knew it was gonna pick up, but still,
Wow, I
I
did not
really
remember this song by them.
I don't know the song at
he's
all.
such a visual. Too bad I can't stand him anymore. Crazy. You remember?
Oh,
Oh, you sound just like him. You can take his spot if he's sick.
Jay, why are you not doing? Like, why are you not jamming? Why are you not singing God 7? Take
I mean,
Jackson's place.
Bye, bye, bye.
okay, sure.
Oh.
You made me crazy. Rah, rah, rah. I'm feeling like a papillon.
Honestly, the least useless Mark Twain ever was in God 7.
He's just there to look nice. That's
Pretty
all.
much.
That's the whole reason why he even got into the group.
Really. I really like Young Jay's voice, but people be sleeping on him because he's in God 7.
I kind of like his look. That white hoodie and the leather jacket over it, and he
Yeah,
has like that boyfriend hair.
the boyfriend here.
Yeah, like
You know
where it's
what?
kind of flopping over
Jackson,
his face.
it's so sad that he's attractive. I wish he wasn't.
It really is. Honestly, every time I see Jackson, I'm like, why are you so handsome
I
and
know.
just trash?
He's got to make up for that personality somehow, so it's
Yeah.
just God evening things out.
I will say, GOT7 is one of the most handsome groups out there. Like, just in general,
You said what?
GOT7, they're one of the most like handsome K-pop groups out there.
Yeah, they're super. To me, them. I want to say NCT is super visual, and I also this might be unpopular. I think Shiny's super visual. A lot of people don't like
Um,
Taemin, but I think Key is very handsome, even though I can't stand him. Minho, I think, is handsome. Um, Jin Ki during like one era was a visual. I always thought Jonghyun was handsome, and I also think Taemin is cute. I think he has like a more androgynous beauty, and I think that's why a lot of people don't. I don't know.
I kind of
Great
really like
song,
the song.
loved it.
Sorry to like, yeah, interrupt the back end of that, but let me go download that song. Yeah, okay.
I mean,
This
I've
is a
been
this is a
telling
good
y'all
game.
to stop sleeping on God 7. Well, to stop sleeping on Teenager, but
You
This
know
was
what?
my first time.
How long it took me to realize that GOT7 was GOT7 because they had 7 members. I it's one of those things.
wow.
I was like, oh, there's 7 members in this group. That makes sense. See, teenager. Boop. Well,
Yeah, that's a great song. I feel like it's so underrated. And I feel like because God 7 has so much trash, it's hard to like find that they do have gems. Even their most recent song I thought was pretty good. The one that we listened to on here a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
I thought
it
it was pretty
was.
good.
Their new one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eclipse. They've won like several awards for that one.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Can't
Pretty good.
can't say the same for Never Ever or
Never ever, never
What's the
ever.
If
one
You
that was like
Do.
Fly or something where it's like they're in an airport or something?
Oh,
That was dope.
That one.
That was
Yeah.
actually, I think that was actually the hard carry. That was the first song I'd ever seen
oh my God, no, please.
from GOT7, and it completely turned me off of the group.
Hard
Art
Carry
carry
is like
Live recreation right there.
that song literally sounds like you're on a construction site. I don't understand how
Oh,
you
I
get
think I really liked If You Do Too from them. But yeah, anyways, we're on to 2 p.m. Oh,
Yeah.
so delicious.
Adatoy,
I
ADTOI.
feel like we shouldn't be objectifying these young men.
Nope, that's what they're there
They
for.
want
That's
it,
why they work out.
G-Men.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Their Parks tour is called Sexy Forever. So I'm assuming anybody who is at any point affiliated with 2 p.m. probably would want the same image.
To be fair, J Park was with them before their sexy phase.
Yeah,
They had
Fair
more of a
enough.
Big Bang phase when he was with them.
yeah,
So,
and they were really big on like dancing, like flipping, like flips on the actual stage and stuff. They were very
What
active
happened
in
to
school.
that in K-pop? I feel like that just it doesn't happen anymore. Like acrobatics in K-pop,
because they be
it's so
hurting their bags. Their
Yeah.
bags be all broken.
okay. Well,
So,
Chris Brown don't be having no broke vertebrae. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, Chris Brown is also like heavily medicated all the time. So I mean, we don't
To be
know.
fair,
so
half
are
of
the
that.
idols.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but
Okay. Yes.
Anyway,
2 p.m.
I have to see it.
2
Okay.
p.m.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The chair dance, G-Men.
And you know what I really appreciated? You know how some lives they did where when they did the dance, they actually lifted up their shirts?
Oh,
Those are the bomb
yeah.
ones because they couldn't do it on every show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Some of them look like Chris Wu and some of them look like Robbie, so I'm kind of confused. I don't know how I
Hey,
feel
I
yet.
remember when Nickun dated Tiffany. Yeah,
Yes.
that
Nickun
happened.
dated Tiffany?
Yeah.
Yes. And
yeah.
people thought she was blessed because of some rumors on the internet about Nickun.
They thought he had a big D. Okay, you ain't no. We're grown here. Okay, we can say
I
it.
don't know.
You
I
know.
don't know. Are we grown? Like, are our viewers grown? There, who knows? Who
That was
listens
a
to this
great
Oh
podcast?
please! This is the.
Oh, here comes.
God
I probably see at
damn.
least
Oh
one
yeah.
nasty thing on the internet. I
And
mean, come on, at least one.
but as I said, it was a rumor, so we don't know if that's true. But yeah, that was a big rumor that was going around. So
I mean, they're just like grabbing areas that should be not broadcasted on YouTube.
they're trying to dispel the myths about Asian men.
Yeah, I get that from 2 p.m.
I feel like they're all probably above average though.
He is so. He
I
said
don't
they're
know.
above.
Statistically, do you think that that's possible, though?
Yeah.
Statistically speaking.
Oh, you
Well,
guys
I
are
mean,
talking about size, girl. Never mind. Y'all nasty.
I think you know what. You know, they're all pretty like big guys. I mean, two more than the rest. But Nick is also from Thailand, so he's outside of the Korean jurisdiction, which might change things up for him. But I don't know. Take for sure. I heard he's a
Okay.
big slut.
I wouldn't
Wow,
be
this
surprised.
conversation. You just wanted to watch this video so that you could gossip
Oh,
about.
so I could just say what I need to say about 2 p.m. But yeah, I heard Take is like a huge slut. I
I
remember
wouldn't
when
be
he
surprised.
I remember when he was like, it was a rumor about him and Jessica dating and him and Yuna dating.
And him and
And
Euban.
yep.
Oh,
All
this throwback effect
day,
that people used to put in there.
all night. They don't have chair dances anymore either. This is real throwback.
Yeah. I feel like chair dances were everywhere back in the day.
Shiny did a chair dance last year.
Yeah, but Shiny's an older group, so I mean,
Oh, you mean like younger groups doing chair dances?
yeah, like
Now they just get straight on the floor. Honestly, they just hump the floor these days.
but yeah.
Well, 2 p.m. does that too.
The way you guys talk about 2 p.m.
Hey,
I only
they.
said one thing, okay? Not like some other people in here.
Y'all looking comparing measurements and stuff. We got rulers out.
I mean, okay, but my question is like, why wouldn't you try to shoot your shot if you got the chance to? I mean,
With
look at some of
Nikon?
not with Nikon, but
Oh.
with
Why he's rich.
She said,
no,
not
but
with
he
Nikon
is
with
You
the
better keep your
he
eye.
is
equipment.
rich. He
You better
is
keep your
rich.
eye on the prize.
Yeah,
It's a
because
bank account.
When I went to Thailand, they had big billboards of Nikon. He's like
Thought
a
you were
king
going for
over
something
there.
else.
Yes, but
See, now you're being
um,
nasty. Didn't take you long
yeah,
to get with it.
it took one 2 p.m. song to turn you.
She's hooked, right? She's hooked. She's gonna be on the plane with you. She's like, we're gonna find Nikun, right?
I mean, if we can even look at one of their lives where they really got to like feel themselves in this video and with this song, whoo, that. But you know what? We can save that for another day.
We should watch another 2 p.m. video in our next Throwback Thursday.
Yeah,
Or
the next one
Throwback
we can do
Flashback
like Go
Friday.
Crazy. I actually really love Go Crazy. No, I'm gonna do I'll Be Back. I'll be back.
I'm so intrigued by the drama, like the soap opera antics
Of what?
of like some of these that we've been watching. Like it just feels so like these. It just you compare it to now, and like you realize how phoned in a lot of the performances feel from a lot of groups. When
And
you
nobody does like dramatic videos anymore.
No.
ever, I mean, well,
Oh my
some people
god.
do.
You know what we should my next one should be one of those Tiara music movie
Oh my
videos.
gosh.
Yes,
Those Michael
yes.
Jackson inspired masterpieces. Oh my
Girl,
god.
they have
Yes.
the best movie music videos ever. Like I hate Core Context MBK, but you know what? They did a good job during that era of Tiara. Because
Now I'm
those
gonna
music
watch.
videos were intense. Like fights, time travel, like there were zombies in one of
And
them.
got zombies and time travel in the same video. That's like a War Star cut.
Or even like Davici's videos. Like
Oh
I don't
my
know if you remember
gosh.
the one with that
Yeah.
little boy who like
Oh my
got
god.
him sued who was like a superhero.
Yes.
And then you found
Yes.
yo, I bawled in the next video when you found out the truth. Oh my god, I cried my eyes out when I watched that video because I was
I was
so
screaming. Like I paused
convinced.
that. I paused that. I was like, is this for real?
I was like, oh, so what we were seeing before wasn't the truth. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Right?
All right. But yeah. Oh, you're missing like the era of music videos.
Yep.
Now I'm up here doing my own ad libs to that 2 p.m.
You're hooked. You're hooked. That's all it takes.
You need to watch Heartbeat.
Yes.
What else? Just the whole discography, like the whole thing.
You know, you should also do next time. Wonder Girl is so hot.
I almost did Wonder
I'm
Girls this time. I
so
was like,
hot,
nah.
hot, hot. Such a baller video. Oh my god.
Throwbacks.
They don't make it like they used to.
Successful.
They sure don't. We got these little K-pop fans now. They don't know
They
what came
sure
before.
They sure don't.
Alrighty. Well, when we oh, is someone still watching the
Oh, sorry, that was me. I'm watching If You Do because that's a great
oh
song. But
okay.
yeah, okay.
Let me go ahead and mute that.
I stopped it. I'm good. Don't be a hater.
Actually let's take a short break
Yes.
and I will come back and then we will pick up where we left off.
Where did we leave off last time?
YG.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about YG. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Take 5 or 10.
What are they? You know what? I'm so confused. What are they coming out with now?
What are you talking about?
Those dudes you love to hate.
EXO?
Oh,
What?
Chanyeol
Say
and
EXO. Kyungsu's
Suhan.
having a solo.
Yeah, and Chanyeol and Sehun are doing a unit album, and
To be
Baekhyun is
fair,
doing a solo album too.
I don't know if I want to hear in a unit album between Chanyeol and Sehun.
I
No
mean,
offense.
at least they didn't add Kai. Was kind of like how I looked at it, and then that was it. I'm not that interested in it. Um. Oh God, Red Velvet. Why? Why? Why?
Yeah, Velvet was it probably the best of the new songs tonight?
Yeah, because we only did the
Stray
three.
Kids was complete garbage. I
Yeah.
mean, oh man, I can't wait till someone splices those goth kids dancing next to Stray Kids. Is there a
But yeah,
dance one?
they actually what was really disappointing about Red Velvet too was the rest of their mini was not great either.
Uh huh.
Like, at least they usually have like one good song, but surprisingly, Twice had a really good mini. Like, I was actually shocked about it because usually their songs, their B sides suck. But
Hmm.
like since they changed up their music style, everything has sort of like improved.
Hmm. Y'all hear about Cardi B being indicted on 14 counts?
Yeah, good. She deserves it. Did you
Yeah.
also hear about her being awarded like songwriter of the year? I didn't even know she wrote her songs.
Yeah, which is like how when she I'm pretty sure she actually openly admitted she didn't write her songs last year when or sorry, the year before when Bodak Yellow came out.
So yeah, it
Uh,
further indicates payola, and just like at every
Yeah.
level. But you know what? We should like. I guess we don't have much to talk about. So what we should maybe mention is like maybe the best song so far, because when this video goes out, it'll be in July, which will be halfway through the year.
Oh my god,
And
that's crazy. This time
yeah,
last year we already had multiple bops and we
yeah,
thought last year was trash.
yeah. I know. Actually, I was talking to my friend. We were messaging today because about like Red Velvet and stuff like that. And
Uh-huh.
she's like, she told me that basically Dolly Dolly or Dollar Dollar, whatever that hell that song was called, that's the best selling girl group song of the year.
Oh, Itzy?
Yes,
It's
Dollar Dollar,
Tala,
right? Yeah, but
which
that's the best selling single girl group single of the year. And this time last year, we had two songs of the year. Do we have any songs of the year?
low scenario.
I think Chunga's those like Chunga's Gotta Go is probably like the biggest hit of the year.
Let me see when 180 degrees came out.
Sure.
Why are you saying it's fair?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you said it like a roast. That's why I said it.
Oh
Like,
no.
uh, that song by Ben that I was telling you guys about. She's not a K-pop artist, so I don't know if it counts. Oh, it was released in 2018. I'm gonna cry, sad
Oh.
tears.
Fancy. I like Fancy
I
though
just
too.
cannot get into Itchy.
Yeah?
Honestly, song of the year might actually go to one of these like new groups. To be honest, because the big groups, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just was not feeling Kill This Love. Like I think I said that when it came out. Kill This Love was just more of the same, and
Yeah,
it wasn't
no.
good.
The whole mini was really bad to be honest. Like every nothing really like it felt rushed too, which was
Hmm.
strange because I mean it's been a year and they didn't even release a full album. They released a mini, so they shouldn't feel rushed.
Hmm.
But that mini was pretty trash. And remember, like last their mini before, I loved it. Square Up, Square One, whatever the hell it was
Yeah,
called. I
Square Up.
loved every single minute of it.
Uh huh.
This mini, I don't have time for it. I just don't. But like I was thinking of like the songs that I like so far this year, and it's a very, very, very small window of actual songs that.
Honestly, I don't even. I can't think of. I mean, I did enjoy Taman's song. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed the songs that I've enjoyed from NCT have been B sides. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Superhuman, but to me, the best songs on that album are the B sides.
Hmm.
Um, the only even remotely good material BTS put out this year was Home on their album.
Yeah.
Literally everything else to me was trash, but people loved it for some reason. Um, Icon unfortunately is in the position that they're in, and I don't remember them releasing anything that made wowed me like Love Scenario.
Yeah.
Pentagon
No,
is dead.
but even like last year, at this time we had Love Scenario and Boom
And
Boom
huh?
and Boom Boom, which were like
Who's Boom
huge.
Boom?
Um, Momoland.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was like pretty much like their breakout hit, and that was like a huge song last
uh-huh.
year. Um,
We even
but
had one on one with
what's the song called? Yeah,
what was that? How that song go? Do you feel the same? Was that 2017 or 2018?
2018 was 101.
Okay, yeah, we had Do You Feel the Same? I don't know what the song is called, but we had it. Which honestly, if I were to compare that song to
Was it
literally
energetic?
is it called Energetic?
I think that was their first single. Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe so. If I had to compare that song with literally anything else that has come out, anything that's come out this year, you know what? I'll say this: 17 had a good song. They have a song called Home, which was I thought pretty good, but their title was kind of trash.
What about Pentagon? Was that song that they released last year? Also, like
You mean Shine?
Shine. Yeah. Was that a
Oh my
2018 song?
god, that was great. But it was
Yeah.
2018 song. It
Yeah.
was released April 2018. That song was up there with Love Scenario for me. Like those
Yeah.
two songs were my songs of 2018 outside of Shiny.
Yeah.
You
No,
know what?
we
Didn't he release a song this year or was that last year?
Key. That was last year. Key
Oh,
released
I'm
some great songs too,
yeah, actually
and
he solo shocked me.
yeah, and Onu's solo was really good too. So it was,
Yeah, with his
yeah,
Korean ballad
yeah.
singing self. Honestly, y'all love to hate it, but Love Yourself Tear was so underrated. Like it wasn't nearly as trash as people tried to make it seem. Um, but Persona was trash this year. Um, who else released stuff? Twice did have a good comeback this year. Actually, to me, Twice Fancy was better than anything that they released in the past year. And I know that's a hot take because I know
Well, I
people
mean,
loved their little
I'm.
summer song "Dance the Night Away" last
I
year.
did not really like it as much.
Fancy?
No, no, I love Fancy.
Oh,
Dance the Night Away. I wasn't a huge fan of that song,
yeah,
but
no.
also like for me, I mean, if we're gonna talk about top five like Twice songs, it's gonna be like Likey, TT, a lot more of their earlier songs. I did like Yes or Yes though, and that was like their Halloween song.
See, I wasn't here for Yes or Yes either.
Yeah.
Or the song with the gummy bears.
What?
Remember how we thought the song was gonna be like a hardcore EXO monster? Oh,
Oh,
Tempo, Tempo. Oh my
Tempo.
god,
Yes.
when are we gonna get another
Tempo
Tempo?
was amazing. I'm still actually waiting like for a live, like a really good live of Tempo. I know like people are going to the army and stuff like that, but
Uh-huh.
I'll wait. I'll wait, but like just to hear them actually sing that part,
Yeah,
because the singing parts are the best parts of the song.
yeah. But you know, honestly, 2 years in a row, EXO did it to us 2 years in a row. Because I
Yeah,
know people didn't really like the war or whatever,
I did
but
not.
I did like Coco Bop and I did like The Eve. The Eve is probably the best song that they've come out with.
The shiny
Oh
song,
my god, huh?
the shiny song, the odd eye
No,
song.
no, The Eve. Why you think The Eve? Are you saying The Eve was supposed to go to Shiny?
No, it sounded like a song that Shiny would have done during that era.
The Eve?
Yeah, isn't that the like R&B sort of sexy song that they did?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you think that sounds like Shiny?
that sounds like it reminds me of Odd Eye, and like the whole thing they were going
Odd
for
Eye.
that era.
don't get me wrong, that era was such a strong era. Odd
Yeah.
Eyes, Symptoms, View, like that was a strong era. I actually think Symptoms was a little bit before that, but that was that R&B era or whatever. But
Yeah,
the
no.
Eve sounds like an EXO song to me. It doesn't sound anything like what something Shiny would do for me personally.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I
I mean,
loved it.
you're a bigger Shiny fan, so I would say I would like refer or defer that to you for sure. But when I heard the song, I was like, oh, maybe it was my wishful thinking because I wanted to see Shiny do the song more so than
Oh,
it was actually like a Shiny song.
uh huh. To me, like half of that song is the choreo though,
Yeah.
because that choreo is super sexy. Like it's like meant
Yeah,
to be
but they're
watched.
not. So I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's probably why you don't like the song they released after Love Shot. It's probably like why you don't like Love Shot because
No,
Love Shot.
Love Shot's just a bad song. Like I tried to listen to it, like just listen to the audio and not like look at
Uh-huh,
the guys, and it just
uh-huh.
didn't work for me.
I can't. I didn't really get into the actual song. Like the
Yeah.
song itself just wasn't. But
You
yeah, X
know,
served last year with their title.
you know what? It's really strange looking at GOT7 and 2 p.m. songs and then looking at EXO because EXO's just like not an attractive group. Like
You know what's like so funny?
what?
When you remember how you guys asked me how I got into K-pop, and I said it was kind of like twofold. Like the first time I like kind of sort of heard about it was
Yeah.
like a friend of mine was so obsessed with K-pop, and she was like, it was so weird because she was like Chinese and Filipino, but she kept telling me she needed to get plastic surgery to become Korean. I hope we don't air
Um.
this. I shouldn't have.
No,
That's weird.
We're
this
not
is
friends anymore,
this is
so
well, we're technically on break. We haven't
Yeah.
started. Yeah, we haven't started yet. So
but I was like, is this like a common thing with like East Asians who are into K-pop? Like, do they just want to become Korean? Anyway, that's besides the point. Because with she was obsessed with EXO, and she would be like, they are the most handsome group. And at the time, I didn't even care anything about anything Korean, so I was just like, okay, but they ain't got nothing on insert whatever group here or whatever. I would just be messing with her like that. But then when I did get into K-pop and I looked at EXO, I was just like they're not visual like at all. Like they are even their visual isn't visual to me.
Who would you consider a visual in this group?
They said that Sehun is the visual.
I would
Okay.
say hi.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Damn, she said
Uh,
more
Sehun.
so than the others at least. Maybe it's more his personality. I don't know.
honestly, like when I got into K-pop, I didn't think anybody was attractive, and it wasn't like
Yeah,
like
I
I was
mean,
looking at.
technically, I'm not really attracted to that whole aesthetic.
Yeah, I
You
don't like
know?
flower boys. I
Yeah.
don't like they're that's like the opposite of the type of men that I'm into. So I was pleasantly surprised to discover groups like 2 p.m. and like GOT7 where they did have a bit more of a masculine edge to
That's
their like
so funny. Sorry.
yeah. Oh
No,
what?
like, that's crazy because God 7, I never even thought about it that way. God 7 is like handsome. Like Jin Young is like it's not to me handsome in a flower boy way, but just handsome like in a handsome way. Me personally, I don't mind either one. Like I
Mhm.
don't to me, I can look at somebody and be like, you're attractive without being attracted.
Yeah.
Um it's kind of like, for example, like a lot of
Key.
people think, Yuna is super attractive from Sonya Shide. I don't. I don't think she's not to me, but like I think Joy is super attractive. I think Joy's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Um,
Joy is very gorgeous.
or a lot of people consider Lisa the best visual in K-pop. I don't. Like I think she's pretty, but she to me I still think I think Jin Sol from Luna is very pretty. I think she's prettier than Lisa to me, but that's just me.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's all gonna be like as far as your
Subjective.
standards of yeah,
Yeah.
your personal standards of beauty. So I mean, for like for Yuna especially, like Yuna fits all of the Korean standards of beauty. So of course they're gonna like love her as opposed to someone that may be a little sexier.
But to me, Joy does too, though.
She does. I think though, like her. maybe if she had a different image, she
Mm.
might, because I do see it, because I do see parts of her that are more reminiscent of, like, say, Susie. But like I said, I think her image kind of throws people off.
Kind of
So,
like how IU has like the nation's little sister image
Yeah.
hmm
versus like Jenny, who has like the cadets hate Jenny, even though
Human
she's like their ideal because her image is, you know, what it is.
human Chanel is what they call her.
They call her who?
Human. She's like a human Chanel because she's
Oh,
like an ambassador for Chanel, so she's always wearing it.
girl, I thought they call her gender. Why do
what?
have you ever heard
I
white
read
people
that
call
too.
Kim Soo Wandaki and they call Jenny Jindaki? I never
I don't know.
understood where that came from. I tried to Google it. I was like, what is this come from? But they call her Jindak.
I have no idea.
Wow.
This is news to you. Oh, it's so funny.
Like I knew they called her Jinduk, I just didn't know why, and I just assumed it was one of those Korean things that you have to be like there to know.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, most likely. Hey, do
I
y'all think Dio is the old, like the cutest person in EXO?
no.
Okay,
I think he's the most talented.
I thought I was
Yeah.
the only person. I feel like a lot of people think he's the most handsome in EXO, and I just don't think that. Okay, we're getting way. Let me stop.
I'm just every time I watch this video, I'm like, did Lay really fly in from China for
For two
for
seconds of screen
to do
time.
makeup for 3 shots in this video?
Lay is so annoying. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen do you guys know oh, I know what my next throwback is gonna be. Y'all
What?
should have said that.
Okay. Oh no, is it gonna be sheep? I hope sheep is
No,
like.
no, it's not gonna be sheep. But it will be EXO related. But it's not
Okay,
gonna be
that's
sheep.
fine. I like if it's Call Me Baby. That's a great
Oh,
song.
it might be a deep cut actually. It might be something y'all have never heard.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I've been thinking about
definitely
that
don't know the
too.
deep cuts.
That El Dorado song is really good that they had.
Yeah, that's probably one of their best ones.
Do you guys know Playboy?
Jay does.
Wait, what
Yes.
happened? I didn't even know Jay was gone. You know Playboy? That's
Yes.
the song that Joan carried over them. I love that song. But if you know that song, you might know the my throwback then. 'Cause
Hmm.
the songs are like really closely related. Subject matter.
Is it Lucky the Lucky Lady song? Lady Luck?
Uh uh.
Hmm.
Y'all ever notice that white people on cooking shows? Y'all ever notice how they hold their fork?
They do what?
It's
They hold
stupid.
their fork?
You ever notice how white people on cooking shows hold their forks?
Oh.
Let's see. That was that was random, but I'm just like watching like a cake show right now, like you know those baking shows.
Ooh,
Hmm.
those
Um,
are fun.
and white like the white they always hold their fork like a certain way. I have to send you a picture. Let me Google white people holding forks. So y'all know I'm tired.
All right, so let's start. Are we all ready?
Yes.
I am ready.
Me too.
Oh, GOT7 is going to be the first K-pop group to appear on NBC's Today Show.
Yep.
Honestly,
You
God
know what we
Seven is
also forgot to do?
underrated.
Yeah. Even though it's from a
Yeah.
major group or major company, they're not like EXO or BTS, which are the two top groups at this moment, right?
EXO's
So
on the
people do
top
forget about
right now.
them. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like I don't know. They still do pretty well, like sales wise, like in comparison
Yeah,
to
but I
like.
would say the top groups are Blackpink and BTS.
Well, I'm talking about boy groups,
Oh,
not
boy
girl
groups
groups. Yeah, like
specifically.
not like K-pop in general. Yeah. But we forgot to do Monster X featuring French Montana, so I guess we'll save that for next time.
We can do it now.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Nobody even. Okay. See how
Yeah,
it is.
we can save that for
You must,
Okay.
Auntie.
Okay. All right. So we left off. We were talking about YG, and we had just kind of got to the point where we were finishing talking about BI, and we're kind of segueing into YG. So okay. Um, I'll count down just to give you guys some time.
yeah, I'm gonna mute.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So YG picked a good time to step down. Of course, he didn't step down during the Sungri business, but he, of course, did during the um, BI drug bust. In general, YG is just, their troubles are just kind of end to end right now. Their stock is going down, and there are K-pop fans calling for boycott of YG and their artists. In general, the Korean uh, population in general is very negative on them. And recently, it was reported that investigations are actually being carried out on 3 more YG artists that have been confirmed to have probably been suspected of having taken drugs, and 3 entertainers, I believe. Yes, they're called YG artists, so they are definitely artists from that company, and people are expecting their names to get out. And recently, they appointed a new CEO, Hwang Bo Kyung, who is a woman, and she is CEO. Some people, there is some consternation on Twitter because some K-pop fans kind of took this as a weird sort of win because she's a woman. And there were some people on Twitter that were kind of like, get your heads out your ass. This woman has a huge mess to get clean up, and you shouldn't be, cheering on anybody that has to take on this role, as well as the fact that she apparently may have been involved in the background of a lot of the stuff that YG is in trouble for to begin with, like the tax evasion and all this other stuff. So it may just be another issue of, you know, them having someone that, is just a plant in any case and is just, kind of there to polite the public and kind of make them feel better about the company, even though it's just going to be more of the same. So, where the company is right now, we're looking at 3 more people possibly being implicated in this whole mess. And poor Somi from IOI, she recently debuted in the midst of all of this. And it was very clear that her entire debut was rushed, was thrown together, was, you name it. It was obviously not given very much time or care was put into it. It was reported that she was crying during her showcase. She uploaded a picture or video of her on social media crying. And generally, she just looks very unprepared and unfortunately unprofessional during the stages that she's doing, and she's not getting much love from any K-pop fans for this debut. And it's almost, I mean, the song, it's not the best song in the world, but a better performer could have pulled it off. As it is, Somi is mostly, I think, known for her personality, but where, this, where she is right now, she hasn't really had a chance to develop her personality for this era or for this performance. So she's kind of out there going through the moves, and we're left with, there's nothing left to really bring in any kind of interest in what she's doing, or the song or anything. So I don't know how much of this can be blamed on YG, but the general assumption is that quite a bit of it probably can be. And like I said, I do have some, I do feel sort of bad for her. At the same time, I mean, it was her choice to move from JYP to the Black label and kind of take that chance. So we just kind of have to see on that front. What do you guys have any thoughts on YG as a whole? I mean, I'm already kind of seeing some retrospectives with people talking about YG's fall from grace and where the company's at now, and how things may turn out, since, we don't know who the next three artists are and how that's going to affect the company. There's talk of some of the actors that are signed under YG leaving to kind of protect their careers. None of the artists have left yet, of course, but it's it's a big mess for those who are affiliated with them. Of course, YG himself and his brother are still shareholders, um, hold stake in the company, and they'll be fine. Other than their tarnished public image, so it's hard to say where the company will be, because even if the company is able to kind of move on from this, they're still going to be involved in the sidelines to some extent. So, and then this new lady, there's, talk of her having been involved with tons of shady dealings. So it just seems like more of the same. And how long can this company kind of, you know, keep going with, this kind of doing what they're doing, basically, when people know some of, at least a little bit of what's been going on there. They're either going to have to make some big changes, or find a better way to hide some of the stuff that's going on, because people have been going after them for a while now, and they, they're going to be on them. They're going to be watching their every move. So what do we, I mean, was anyone kind of a YG stan before, or at least stan the artist, the company, and are kind of surprised at what's happened, are not surprised? Does anyone hope that the artist will leave and find another company? Um, Big Bang, I've seen some talk about people hoping G Dragon will, he's kind of mentioned in the past about wanting to start his own company someday. Some people are hoping he'll pull a Shinwa and just, get the others to leave with him and start his own company with the group. Um, what are our thoughts?
So I guess I am the resident, or was the resident YG stan. So I mean, my whole entire foray into K-pop is because of YG. And so I've been pretty much a Big Bang stan forever. And so, and like 21, obviously. And I like Winner, I like Icon, Blackpink, so, and Lehigh, obviously. And so I've kind of just been there. And it was always like my favorite company because they always dropped great songs. I mean, obviously, it was really just Teddy, Teddy and GD. for the longest time, sort of just making hits and stuff. So I'm not surprised about this because YG himself always came across as shady and corrupt as like he just seemed the type to do everything that has sort of come out and even more. And it's evident that he has somebody in his pocket who's a politician and or higher up in the police force, because I don't think he's going to go to jail. I'm actually going to be surprised if Sungri goes to jail, because Sungri himself looks like he learned a lot from YG and he's been playing it kind of safe. And it's really just his friends that are all going to be probably going to jail, or facing really harsh probation. So, and I don't know about them leaving though. I feel like because everybody sort of makes music through Teddy, I don't know if they have an identity outside of that, to like outside of GD. I think GD is probably and Top. I think those two are like probably the only two that I could see. NCL, sorry, NCL as well, that I could see maybe fostering their own music on their own without any Teddy influence. But like Blackpink, what is Blackpink without Teddy? He creates every single song. Like the girls have, like they've done what, two minis and like a handful of singles, and they are not even allowed to write, from what it seems, for anything that they release. And with the Black Label now with John Somi, I mean, it is unfortunate, but she should have just stayed at JYP. Like that's the way I look at it. So I'm not even really upset about it, because I feel like she doesn't have the it factor that would make her this type of celebrity that I feel like people keep hinting that she is capable of becoming, just because she has the hype surrounding 17. She almost made it into Twice, didn't quite make it, whatever. She was in IOI. She was the center. She was like, she got the number one place for that group. And even in there, she kind of got lost in the shuffle of like people who were more talented than her. And then she had two side projects with Sister Slam Dunk and with that Girls Next Door, whatever that she did. And even there, she was. I mean, the only thing with Sister Slam Dunk that made her stand out was that she was the youngest member. And I guess she had that cute persona, and she had that weird thing with the vocal coach. I don't know what that was about, but that like weird storyline sort of helped her. And then she did the song with Eric Nam, and throughout all of this, she never really quite popped. Like she got all these chances and just nothing seemed to blow up for her. And then she left JYP and it was a big scandal in itself, I guess. And ITZY debuted and ITZY did really well. And people started to sort of, I don't know, I think people sort of start to feel bad for Yoon Somi, but not enough to support her instead of that. And then she joined with Black Label, which is a completely different image from the image that she's had all this time. So there's that change. And then on top of that, the Black Label is not really that established. It's like a subsidiary company for YGE, but it's not like they have this amazing roster and they're sort of releasing all this music. She's the only solo artist, like solo female artist, I think there. And there's only like 3 people. So it was kind of weird. And then clearly they rushed her debut because of all of the drama, because she had a showcase with no performance. She did perform, she has been performing, and she's been not great, to be honest. Like she's getting better and a little bit stronger, but even so, like for somebody who should have had all of that experience through 2 reality shows and like a top tier group, you think that she would sort of get with the program and know how to perform. I don't know. I just I don't feel bad for John Somi, and I know it sounds terrible to say, but I really don't. I just feel like she's already had her time and it's come and gone, and she's not charismatic or talented enough to sort of coast by on all these chances she gets. That's just my opinion. I mean, she can continue doing what she's doing now, and I think that'll be fine. I just don't think that she'll ever really be at like even Chunga's level. And so that's kind of a rambly opinion on the whole Jinsomni situation there. And with this new CEO, she was like she was a CFO before, and it's really strange that they think that she's going to be somebody to turn the company around when she was the CFO while they were being investigated for like tax fraud. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like they should have just got somebody from outside of the company who had a clean record, who would be bringing fresh blood into a clearly corrupted and messed up company. Just saying. So I don't really know what's going to go on with YG at this point. GD could come back because he's strong enough and he's popular enough and he, makes good enough music to do so. I don't think Big Bang can come back from this. Even if Sungri never goes to jail, he's done, and people sort of associate the group with him. So I don't think Big Bang will come back from this. Icon, I don't know. BI was a huge part of like the music making for that group. So I'm not sure what that's going to do, if it's going to change them for the better, for the worse. Now it looks like Winner might be affected with Sung Hoon, being sort of tied to the whole BI thing. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. Blackpink, I mean, we already see Australia is trying to link them to like drugs or something like that. So who knows what's going to happen there. Lehigh will be safe. People are already asking for her to leave the company, so she'll be fine. I've read somewhere the actors are trying to leave, which fair enough. I mean, you don't want that to drag you through the mud. Tang will be fine. People love him. He's not at all corrupted or part of any of this drug stuff, so he'll be fine. Daesung might be a little bit affected because of his prior controversy, but people in Japan love him, so he'll be fine. Top is a weird sort of place because what happened to him was so messed up and unfair, but Koreans are really crazy about drugs, so I don't know if he will have a career to come back to when he leaves the army. And then there's um that brother and sister group. I can't remember their name. But they'll be fine. Because the brother's coming back from the army, and what he had asked YG to allow his sister to debut as a soloist in the time that he was gone, and YG never did it. So the public is completely behind them. And then there's just Jun Solmi, who will probably just float around on, I don't know, her her image, I guess, for as long as she can. And Teddy, who will probably try to break from the company. If he's smart, he'll try to do that. And I mean, he makes all their music anyways, so with him gone, the company will just fall apart at that point. And he can sort of maintain a cleaner image for himself. And then I don't know. I don't really. Is there anybody else at YG that's important? I don't think so. But yeah, as a former YG stan, that is sort of my opinion on it. Sorry for being long and rambly.
No, not at all. I think it's interesting to kind of get your viewpoint since you were a fan of, if not the company, like the artist and the company and like
Mhm.
their whole kind of image and everything. And, people are already kind of doing retrospectives on what YG used to be. So, kind of seeing what it's become and how people are responding to that is very interesting. Um, Jay, Jimin, do you have any thoughts about, what's going on with YG? What do you think will happen to him, or who do you think the other three celebrities, the other three artists are? They're going to get busted for drugs, are going to be, or Somi, or any of that?
I think that the other three are probably guys, because just thinking about how Park Boom was thrown under the bus for her medication, that they didn't try and help her or protect her. So I'm thinking like the other artists are guys, just on that front. So because nothing's happened yet, we just know that there are three more. So yeah, um, I don't know what they were thinking about. So me and her comeback or debut or thinking like people are just gonna automatically forget about everything that was going on right now. Um, that's not fair to her, but you know, I guess that's part of the contract that she signed. Um, yeah. And I mean, I don't know, like, if it matters if people go to some of like these other companies, because who's to say that those other companies aren't having like drug problems too that we're just not aware of. So they're going to go to another company and still like do the same thing like that and maybe not get caught. The only thing about the YG thing is that if it never came to light, who was really going to know? So that's all I got to take on that. Yeah.
Okay. Jimin, you have anything to add?
You guys said it all.
Okay. Well, as far as YG is concerned, this is still a developing issue, so I'm sure something else will have happened by the time this podcast comes out. But, we will be paying attention to it. In other news of huge Korean conglomerates taking advantage of their positions and money and influence, Mellon was also suspected of embezzling millions in royalties, and SME was suspected of some suspicious financial transactions. Um, there was some weird stuff going on that was reported in the news, and there was seemed to barely have been some kind of investigation into uh, the issue before they released a statement basically saying, well, there's nothing to see here, move along. And I kind of want to touch on here with what we are kind of getting with YG and Melon and these other big companies, the kind of influence and the control that they have over not only the K-pop artists, but well, not only the fans, but the K-pop artists as well. Um, and the whole kind of culture behind standing a company as well as standing a group or an artist. Um, just not even putting aside the fact that these are companies and their whole point is to make money and to, make profit from the consumer, but you're still going to kind of stand them as if they're, working for your benefit, even though they're not. And it's kind of a weird thing that K-pop has kind of developed. And I kind of want to use as an example of how out of hand this has happened, because Big Hit is kind of a good example of that. Big Hit obviously is the home company of BTS, and they have really gotten a bit of a Cinderella edit from ARMYs and other K-pop fans because of starting from being a rather underappreciated, unknown K-pop company, and then of course becoming the monster that it is now because of BTS basically, and to a lesser extent TXT. And even though they were affiliated with JYP upon their kind of creation. But there is kind of a glamorization of the company because of the things that they do, or supposedly do for the fans, even though when you really look at what they're doing for the fans, it's not so much that they're doing things for them, it's more that, in my opinion, that they're using them and kind of taking advantage of the fact that we have a very dedicated, large group of rabid, devoted fans that are willing to do anything for this group, and we're going to take advantage of it because, hey, it's less money for us to spend, and they'll do anything we say. And nobody on the fan side seems to have realized this yet. So recently, as an example, there was a BTS concert in Busan. It was the Muster concert by BTS. And this incident made headlines, primarily because of things that Big Hit did. And then following that, armies tried to kind of shout down and cover up reports that were being translated or being distributed around the internet about what happened. So basically, the gist of the situation is Korean fans, Korean BTS fans, very upset and may even sue Big Hit because thousands of them were denied entry to this Muster concert, even though they did not buy their tickets illegally. To go to the concert, you needed an ID card. And before the concert, Big Hit announced on the fan cafe that a paper-made student card to get in was fine. So a lot of people bought those because they were told it was okay. Well, when they showed up with their student cards, they were denied entry and they were not liable for a refund. In addition to that, security um, was criticized for being very unprofessional. Reportedly, they made fun of a BTS member's looks and said, "Why do you like someone with a face like this?" There was a police squad the entire time, and one of them threw chairs at fans. There's even a report that a security guard was sexually inappropriate with some of the fans that were there. And there's apparently on Korean social media, there's tons of pics and videos, evidence reporting this. And basically, the main thing that kind of contributed or kind of was the catalyst for this was that Big Hit oversold the venue. The venue was only supposed to hold 20 some thousand people. There were about 40 some thousand people there. And according to people that were there, they were packed like sardines. People were fainting. Um, it, the to get in, basically the ID checks were very strict. Thousands of girls were crying outside. People were denied. They flew in from other countries. Little girls were denied entry because it was their mom's name on the ticket, not theirs. People that had a copy of their ID instead of the original, um, that was just outside the venue with these strict ID checks. Then inside, the concert started 30 minutes later than scheduled. The last train, just FYI, the last train leaving Busan was apparently at 10:20. After the concert, nobody could leave for 30 minutes, so people started leaving at 11. It was so packed that dozens of people fainted. At the end of the concert, there was a fireworks show. Multiple people in the pit got burns from them, and the ambulance team was constantly assisting someone. And a couple of people, basically, there are some pictures going around online of people that were in the hospital, someone with a cast on their leg. And it was basically Koreans that were, criticizing what happened, or trying to, talk about what happened. We're not even bringing up BTS. They were bringing up the company and what Big Hit's basic negligence, and even because this was something that made the news there, the national news, this huge concert that just kind of went haywire, and Big Hit basically had nothing to say, had nothing, I mean, as of now, has no kind of concessions for the people that were injured or people that paid for their tickets and were denied entry. Nothing has been said or done. And international fans have been trying to cover up what's been said, have been trying to dox people, have been challenging people that are from Korea, that have been talking about what happened. And to me, I mean, this whole culture of not even just this stan worship, this company worship, it's very, I mean, it's very out of hand. And it also brings in kind of another thing with the international and the Korean fans, and there is this weird thing between them where I feel that we they've both contributed to where K-pop is right now, but there's this weird kind of competition with K fans and I fans. I mean, K fans kind of, it's a competition where K fans have the home advantage, right? But I fans, especially right now, feel like they have gotten these groups to where they are, internationally speaking. As far as BTS is concerned, just because they are the most obvious example. Speaking of muster, there were some skirmishes online because of the fact that BTS's set list was quite different from the Speak Yourself tour that they did, that was also done in the US, where they did most of their pop songs, where Muster had a lot of their more hip hop, R&B influenced material, including Home, which a lot of people consider like one of their best tracks off of their recent album. And a lot of iFans were very kind of ticked off about that, because they feel like, number one, well, of course, when you saying you're performing Home in your home, and of course, I mean, you're from Korea, we understand that, but there's always this whole thing about, oh, Army, we're devoted to Army, we love Army, but we're gonna prioritize one set of fans over the other, right? That's just ripe for competition and shit fest, and this kind of ugly activity that's been going on between the two groups online. And it's kind of been something that's been brewing for some time, but with the more groups that are coming on American TV, and they're becoming more exposed and having more prominent fans here, it's going to continue to be something that's going to grow. And I feel that something is going to happen where one group is going to blame the other, and we're going to kind of have this showdown of, you helped cause the downfall of the group, or you helped cause this concert to go haywire, you helped do something. And, when I fans or K fans are going to be seen to be at fault. So I kind of covered two topics there, but first, is anyone wanting to discuss or has anything in particular that they want to kind of bring up about the Big Hit situation? What happened at the concert? As far as that, and then the fans kind of trying to challenge what people that were there were saying and kind of cover it up. Does anyone have anything to say about that? No?
I honestly didn't know any of this was going on, so this was
Oh,
all news to me.
well, okay.
Like, it literally was all news to me, like, about the concert and about all the drama between. I mean, I think I had like a hint of the drama between I fans and K fans, but only through like this podcast, not because of anything I'd ever seen on the internet. To be honest, I like everything that is just mind blown in a lot of ways. I mean, it seems kind of silly for fans of the same thing to fight because of where you're located, but K-pop fans have never really been the pinnacle of logic. So I'm not actually surprised about that. It's terrible. And I mean, the whole idea of like standing a company just to stand a company is kind of weird. I mean, I say that as somebody who's like an XYD stan, but I actually like the groups. So it's like it's not like I liked anybody because they're from the company. I actually just kind of like the groups, and they're all from the same company, and they're all made by the same people. So like it made sense. But like, if just because I like Shiny doesn't mean I'm gonna like, Super Junior or like, I don't know, NCT, like those, that's just kind of a crazy idea to me. And I I don't know if it's that weird sort of theme in K-pop where like everything has to be done to this like extreme level for no reason. It's like you can't just be a fan. You have to be like a fan of only that group and buy 10 copies of their albums and break into their houses or their office tells whatever that story that happened with Chanyeol recently. And like you have to go onto their tour bus and make their bed. Like it's never anything in normal levels. It's like always these extreme emotions, extreme actions, um, just just too much in a lot of ways. And everything that you just described sounds like too much. And I'm actually kind of happy that I didn't run into any of this information beforehand, and that because that means that I'm following all the right people on my social media, and I'm happy about that. That's all I had to say. I don't really mess with a lot of the stuff that you mentioned there. So, yeah, Jay or Jimin.
Anything to add? Any thoughts about Big Hit and their responsibility to the fans, or the fact that this is kind of, I mean, I feel like this is kind of what they do, right? Like they never really have anything to say. They didn't have anything to say when the army attacked, artists online like Cupcake and Gallant for, trying to go after BTS for clout. They didn't say anything about that. They did say anything about, Sasaengs that have, tried to go after BTS and, get into their personal, invade their privacy. They always stay pretty mum on everything, and they mostly leave it to the fans to kind of just pick up the pieces and handle things themselves, because they will. I mean, I've been reading and going through some things, and I mean, I've been thinking this for a while, but I mean, I do think that, you know, I mean, it's a classic case of being used and I guess, not realizing it. Or maybe, I don't know, I do think maybe some of the fans don't care. I mean, they feel like, oh, I'm doing it for Appa, so, you know, who cares? Any thoughts on that?
I will say that it is responsibility of Big Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not the responsibility of the fans. Like this is a business. Regardless of what they want to say, BTS is an idol group, and they are a part of Big Hit, who runs pretty much the business aspect of it, and they're the one. The company is the one that's supposed to make sure that everything is safe, everything is run properly, and people are not getting hurt. They're not stuck for 30 minutes or whatever, and they're unable to get home. Like Shinhwa, when they have their concerts, they make sure that they have them at reasonable times so that people can still take the train home afterwards. It's just you know a courtesy to people who are giving you their money and their time and their attention and their energy and their lives in a lot of ways, right? And unfortunately, the bad decisions of the company do reflect on the group. I mean, like we just spent what felt like an hour talking about all the drama and like shady shit happening at YG and how it affects their idols. For people to flip it and be like, "Oh, well, Big Hit, is BTS's company, but they're not responsible for it, or they're not reflected, or they're not a reflection of it." But it's like, no, you can't have you can't have it one way for YG because you hate them and another way for Big Hit. No, if a druggy company means that they have druggy artists, means that like everybody's name is getting dragged through the mud, regardless of if they're innocent or not. Then shitty things that Big Hit does reflect on BTS. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way like the industry works. And I feel like if like all of everything that happened, people getting hurt and just like all of this stuff should come with an apology. I don't know, did Big Hit apologize?
From what I understand, like they haven't said anything. And apparently some of the Korean army are or were, last time I checked, were planning on filing a lawsuit, and I don't know how successful that'll be, but I mean they were definitely a good amount of them that were pissed off about what happened. And then international fans were like, well, I think you're overreacting, and this sort of thing, and it's like,
Ugh.
you weren't even there. So um but did anyone have anything to say about I fans and K fans and their whole relationship together? Because I think that's kind of, if you guys have any personal anecdotes about that, especially, that's kind of an interesting thing. None.
The I fans and the K fans are like opposites. Because don't the K fans know more? Like,
I think they do generally, yeah.
they know more of the tea, but they don't want to share. Or they're like, oh, we're the fans that matter. Well, well, they have more opportunities to go to the concerts and things like that than the I fans do. I mean, especially if they tour just like in Asia. Like, who really from America is gonna book a flight to the Philippines to see Blackpink? I mean, come on now. Who has that money and time? So it's just like they're always like in this. Mm, sometimes they're always like in this competition. I guess of like who the group likes more, quote unquote. Um, yeah, it's just a mess. Yeah.
I mean, have you guys noticed anything recently with, I mean, now that we're seeing more K-pop acts kind of come in appear over here, like on television and things like that. I mean, have you noticed anything in your social media travails online? I know we all kind of you know spend time in different places, so
Not really, because like those groups, I'm not into groups like I used to be. So if there is stuff going on that I really kind of don't know, there are only certain groups that I feel like they have like more so if the group disbanded, then like they would have like the solo stands, quote unquote. 'Cause I think that's like what like 101. Like even though they were a group, like everybody, a lot of people had their favorite, and like now, like some of the dudes that are like solo or whatever, I'm like, who is this? Who is this? Because like in the group, it was really like Daniel and like maybe two other people that I could like pick out, and then there was like everybody else. But that group had a lot of people in it, and I was like, I ain't got time for all this to learn everybody's name. So that's how I kind of feel like. But like in my experience, like the the K fans, like they were fine. They were cool, like that. I mean, did I try and get some tea out of them in a way, but it didn't really work. It's stuff like that because it would have to be like consistent. Like, hey, let's be friends. So, got anything to tell me? So that really didn't happen a whole lot because of, like the time zones and things like that. But I've really, in the groups that I was, the fans that we were like, how can I, the groups that we both like I didn't see any like animosity on my end of it. But it was kind of a different time for me, anyways, before things like are now. So I don't know if that was part of it too. It was just like we're just two people that like the same group, and that was kind of it. But like now, it's like they're over here more. We got them more awards. So yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if like, to piggyback on that, if it has to do more with like the size of the fandom and like the era, because like for like James mentioned and I mentioned it, and I don't know if you kind of touched on it too, but like back in the day, I guess because the I fandom was like so small and we didn't really have much power, it didn't really make sense. It's kind of like, let's just support them and be happy, with whatever we get as international fans, and the K fans hold them down in Korea, kind of. And so it was kind of like a partnership. But now with this like Western validation being sort of like the key and this end all thing for a lot of people, I fans are getting a little bit big for their britches in some ways. And so they like, and now they have power too, because like they're getting all these international records. And so groups now, it seems like they have K fan bases, but a lot of them are pandering for the international fans more so, it seems, with like the music and the promotions and things like that. And
18s.
yeah, AT's great example. Like didn't they have like a score of 0 for digital, and they still won their like an award on one of the music shows. Like it's like these are the crazy stories that are coming out now, because you don't need the Korean public behind you to have a K-pop career, because the Western market is so open to it now, and there's enough international fans who are willing to support and promote you. So I feel like that's kind of built to this sort of power struggle between the two. And like I don't really stand any like new fresh groups or anything like that. So it's not something I would experience, because in the people that I support, like we all kind of get along. So I think that's why like this is a big story, but it's not something that we kind of come across as much, or like we're kind of a part of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, like the groups that I guess do spend more time like overseas. Like some of them are like the Nugu groups, so like Korea wasn't checking for them to begin with. So, but then
Well,
like
you could
boyfriend,
say that about BTS to an extent too, where when they first started, I mean, international fandom was kind of what got them, uh, I guess, more of a platform. And then, at least according to some fans, that's when Korea started checking for them. You know, it's all about like who was
right?
the first person to, recognize, these groups,
Yeah,
these artists.
but BTS went to wasn't it Japan first, and then they came over to the West.
Probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that did it did happen that way for them. Like, but they're like the only ones. Like out of all the other like Nugu groups, quote unquote, BTS was Nugu at the start of their career. It's true. People may not want to admit that, but they were. But they're like the only ones out of all the Nugu groups that they reached that level of success. I mean, there's like a lot. Then there's some that have like if they haven't toured in America, they went over to Europe, and they still go back to Korea, and they're still Nugu. So, so BTS has got lucky in that front for how things played out for them, because it could have happened to some of these other groups. I think because some of the other new groups that came around out at the same time as BTS, like they had a chance. Like that could have been them. It didn't work out for whatever reason. It just happened to be BTS, but it could have been them because at that time the boy groups all kind of had that fake hip hop image thing going on, and then
Mhm.
BTS was the one that got lucky out of all of them. But I think it was going to happen. The option was there for it to happen to any of them.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting. Okay. So, any more thoughts on that, on either Big Hit or kind of the um, fan rivalry?
mm,
No? Okay. Well, let's go into another lighthearted topic, racism. Not necessarily racism. Well, it's colorism in K-pop, right? It exists. It's there, and we, at least those of us on this podcast, are very aware of being fans of another culture, of people from another country, where many of their thoughts and opinions of people like us seem to be very backward and ignorant at times. And of course, that can make things very difficult for the person that is, a fan, right? And can make you kind of question, why you're a fan in the first place. Well, this news segment in South Korea that came out several weeks ago aired on South Korean television. It was a bunch of news commentators sitting around the table. They had a short news segment where they basically talked about how Black music's influence is concerning because of its explicit references to drugs and violence. In light of that, BTS's music is positive and it references books. And after award shows, they don't go to after parties, they chat with fans instead. The implication being that Black music is bad BTS, which is from our country and is popular in America now, is good and is good for this country. Um, I do want to say that I have read a couple of accounts that BTS did go to when they appeared on SNL, did attend the after party at least there. So that is one area where they're wrong, and they've probably been to other after parties. They're young men. I don't think they want to just go back to their hotel after performing and not engage in social activities. That's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, I'm always fascinated by this because as someone that is also black and has been listening to K-pop for some time now, and I find myself being more fascinated and being more interested in the reasons why we listen to it and why we are part of making this, I guess you can call it now, a genre of music popular. When there are so many aspects of it that are very negative towards us, and why we don't call it out like we do many other aspects, and a lot of times even apologize for it. Um, I want to kind of bring up another instance. There is someone online that was a K-pop fan. I guess they were a white K-pop fan, and they were, made a post that was going around several days ago, basically condemning black K-pop fans and saying that this music, it wasn't made for your kind, and I think you should stick to your own type of music. A lot of K-pop idols do not like blacks, and you've been trying to ignore the fact that all the groups you listen to do not want any black person's company. I have nothing against your race, but I wish you would tell your fellow black friends to stop listening to the music made for white people and stop putting their hopes up about being with BTS or any other group, because they'll never like or be interested in your kind. They want people like us. Please don't be offended, and blah, 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 blah. And actually, I'm not sure what race the person was. They might have, I think they might have actually been Korean, but I'm not actually sure. So I think this was translated, but yes, that was making the rounds. Um, and just recently, a reporter, a guy that's pretty respected. He's a Seoul-based freelance journalist. He's one of the co-founders of the website Korea Expose. He worked at Edelman Public Relations. So this guy's legit. He's had his experience. He works in journalism. He knows what he's doing. Named Raphael Rashid, person of color. All he's doing is reporting on what we were talking about earlier, the Muster big hit issue, and Army fans are trying to dox him and saying that he's trying to sabotage the boys, and that that telling him that he is a clown, and that he made a post where he kind of jokingly said, yikes, I think I'm going to need private security. And someone was like, you can't afford private security. So, I don't know how deep we're going to get into this, because this is probably something that would span several podcasts. But we're all people here that kind of understand, at least on different levels, depending on our experiences. But we relate to these issues, and we understand that Black K-pop groups on some level, are built off of Black groups that debuted in the 90s, and quote unquote borrow a lot of their moves and their music, and in a lot of ways are kind of the more palatable version of a lot of these artists and groups that we used to listen to back in the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s. And that a lot of the things that they say and do are hurtful and harmful, and yet we continue to support these people. Um, I I have something to say, but I will say it later because I always talk first. I want to see what you guys have to say first. Don't necessarily have to address everything I said, but just in general, this issue. Um, what Yes, in general, you can just even tell me how you're feeling about it at this point in time. No.
Oh, I spoke first, so I'll wait.
Oh, okay. Um, Jimmy, do you want to go first?
Um, no, I want you to go first.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry, I just don't have anything in my brain right now. So
um. So I think that the letter's kind of funny, saying that the K-pop music isn't for Black people when that's what K-pop is based off of. It's Black people music. So them saying that already is like, what are you talking about? Um, it's I don't know,
you
just I don't know, just them being just ignorant because they wouldn't want. I'm pretty sure they would want somebody not Korean, I guess, or whoever wrote that letter. Um, that they wouldn't want somebody to tell them, well, you can't listen to such and such music because you're not X, Y, and Z like that. Um, I mean, they did kind of clock some people about like, oh, you think you're going to be with these idols? Because
Well, that's a whole other thing. But yes.
I mean, but that's like for anybody really, because they're in a whole different realm of living, just like in status and things like that. So unless you're in that kind of same realm, you're not on their radar. And I think that's regardless of like your race. Um, I mean, that's just my opinion. So I don't know like that, but I mean, some of that stuff doesn't surprise me because people are like, "Oh, we're in 2019, we should be beyond that." But look at the society. Like, how are they addressing like those kind of issues about like racism and things like that? Or really even talking about it. I mean, we still have those issues here in the West like that. Sure, some people live in areas where that's not a thing or it's not like in your face and it's happening. But when you go outside, I guess the area that you've known to a different area and you stay there a while, you're probably going to see something or experience something like that. Yeah. So, that's all I got for that.
Okay.
yeah, I I think the letter is ridiculous, but honestly, I really didn't like when I first saw it. I didn't give it any thought really. I just was like, oh, like I mean, I didn't have any sort of visceral reaction to it or anything like that. I just thought it was ridiculous and um I don't know, whatever it intended to do however it intended to make me feel, it didn't make me feel that way. Like it didn't accomplish anything for me. um but yeah, I mean that's just that I don't know. Someone saying like that um I guess black people shouldn't listen to K-pop. It's just hilarious. It is so funny. Um, literally all of the genres are because of black people. So, um, okay, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, but okay. And that's honestly just my reaction because I feel like I feel like people try to pull that kind of like the whole, oh, I like black people, but I just want to say this. Like, I don't know. That's pretty much how I feel about it. It didn't really give me a reaction. But I do think that like it's a cause for concern for like a lot of black K-pop fans because I do feel like there is at least from outside looking in, there seems to be this like really like odd divide between black K-pop fans and then like K-pop fans of other like ethnicities. Um, there seems to be like a real divide, um, and It's like it's not something that I notice that the black fans initiate. It's more as much as I feel like it's just like this self segregation that other fans do, like almost. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it, but it does come off like both black fans are kind of seen as like a um like I don't even know how to describe it. Like just the words are not coming to me well right now.
For
But
me, it's almost like black fans are the guests that you never asked
yeah,
to show up.
there you go. Wow, you should write a book.
I just thought about that. I mean, or just about how I feel from what I've read, you know.
Yeah,
It's
there's definitely this feeling that it's like K-pop is just like this special thing that like all the other fans have invited the black fans to. Like you said, just like a guest in a genre or a guest, like you just said. That's yeah, that was a good little comparison right there. Yeah, but that's exactly how it feels. So yeah.
Mm.
what about you, Nat?
Okay, so hot take. Um, when I first saw that tweet about the comment about K-pop not being for Black people, I saw all the outraged Black people, and I was just like, do I want to be spicy today or not? So I kind of let it go, and then like a couple of days later, I kept seeing it and kept seeing it. I was just like, listen, I'm not saying that it's right because it's not. It absolutely isn't. But I also feel like as a Black K-pop fan, you have to take the L. And the L is you have to deal with the fact that these people don't like you, likely, and they don't value you as a human being, likely. And like, they can talk all they want about like, oh, we love all our fans and we appreciate people, but they're never going to really, I don't know, really sort of understand what it's like to be a Black fan. And because of that, they'll never really be as much of an ally as they need to be, especially considering that, the genre that they make music in is pretty much just stolen from Black people. And especially now in the heavy hip hop and beats phase of K-pop, like it's completely Black music that they're doing. None of them will admit that, but they'll still, you know, um, sort of act like, and maybe even believe that they accept everybody. But like, I'm not saying that you have to date a K-pop fan because like a K-pop artist because like no one's really gonna date a K-pop artist. But on the other hand, like the likelihood of them bringing home a Black girl versus any other race is like it's non-existent. Okay, like at this point. So I don't know. Like I feel like there's a point where I was like, I don't think I want to listen to K-pop anymore because like I just didn't want to deal with all the racist stuff. And then Top almost died,
And then I really did have to think about it. And I just decided, like, I'm just gonna have to take the L. Like, I'm gonna be pissed and upset, obviously, about a lot of the stuff that's gonna happen. But this is music from people who come from a single race state, and like they're proud of this. Like they still do blackface like it's hilarious. They use words like ninja and nega instead of the N word because they think it's cool and edgy. They do dreads and braids all the time, and like they see no problem with it, even though people have been saying it for years that it's wrong and that they shouldn't be doing it. So I know I just don't see anybody getting better enough for me to believe that any of these people are allies of black people and that they actually see black people as human beings and not just like, oh, it's just the people who made the cool stuff that I want to do. I don't think they've ever really seen past that, like in the history of K-pop, and I don't think anything that's going to change. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not like really upset about the tweet. I saw it and I was like, well, I mean, it makes sense, and I kind of just moved along with it. I didn't have it in me to be upset about it because it's just like there's no point, there's no use, and also it's kind of true. In regards to like whatever the whatever they said about BTS and like um I guess that was racist or xenophobic or whatever. I mean, to tie it into what I just said about K-pop artists and just Asians or Koreans in general like not seeing black people as real people and blah blah blah. Like for that reason, I mean, like it sucks that they're experiencing racism and xenophobia in the West, but I don't know, like like I don't really have it in me to be that upset about it. Like it is unfortunate, and I don't wish that on anybody, but at the same time, like you are you're sort of perpetuating this anyways, and you don't really do anything when your fans are perpetuating it. So like what am I supposed to do? Like you know write stern letters on your behalf? I'm not. I just like I'm just not. I mean, maybe it's a bit of karma. As I said, it's a hot take. So at the end of the day,
It's
like it is what it is. And I wish this world was a better place. I wish people were better, but you kind of just gotta roll with it, I guess. And like I do like K-pop. I've been listening to it for a very long time, and I love the music. I love pop music in general, and I love like the music that has been produced, and some of it's like just up there with like some of my favorite songs of all time, like an R&B and reggae and things that I grew up on. So I mean, I'm in it, and I've decided that I was going to be in it. So I'm just going to kind of like roll with whatever comes my way. But yeah, sorry, hot take.
yeah, it's an interesting hot take though. What about anyone else? I mean, is anyone else taking the L? As I think that that's interesting how black fans um, kind of rationalize being a K-pop fan to themselves. I mean, we all have different reasons that we're kind of into the whole genre, but I mean, there's always that whole kind of thing over top of your head. So, I mean, I think it's interesting to just kind of hear, like, why, we all kind of decide to kind of stay active in something like this. I mean, because you always hear it, from people that aren't familiar with it or have heard other things, and about it and aren't overly familiar with the music. And it's like, well, why are you listening to this stuff where, they dress up in blackface and do da da da? Um, we all kind of have our own reasons, if you guys are comfortable with talking about them. I'm guessing no.
Yeah, I mean, like as I said, like it's kind of redundant to get upset every single time, like it's just like and then like you have the coons who rationalize it and are just like, oh well, you know he didn't mean it, or he didn't say that, and my Opa would never do this. And it's like, you don't know these people, you don't know how they are when they're with their friends and like their family. Like, you don't know these people. Like, you can create this version of that celebrity all you want, but like there's very little there's a very small amount of K-pop artists that I would actually like say that I don't believe are racist and homophobic and transphobic. A very, very small window of people. Like Jonghyun was one of them. IU's definitely along that lines as well. I'm thinking because I mean those are only the two people that I think I would go to bat for. I mean, even like I love Jessica with all my heart, and she made some like colorist statements or something like that a couple years ago, and that kind of made me side eye her, you know. And it's just like that's just sort of the reality, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know. I just oh, that's a hot take.
Well, well, one more thing.
Yeah.
Would you, if you had like a friend of yours that had not been into K-pop and was saying, and they were interested in it, would you, and they were a person of color, they were of or black or um, would you encourage them
No, I
to
wouldn't.
be a fan?
I
No.
wouldn't. No. I'd be like, look, you can do what you want to do. Like, obviously, you're an adult, and so like you're gonna make your own decisions and choices. But I personally, like, if somebody had said to me all those years ago, like, look, you can like this music, but this is the stuff you're gonna have to put up with for like 10 years, and you're gonna be attached to some of these people, and it's gonna be hard, and it's the music is gonna sort of like live inside you for a bit, and then you're gonna find out terrible, terrible things about these people, and you're gonna have to make some choices. If somebody had sat me down and said that to me, I would have never gotten to K-pop. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Or if I did, it would literally just be the music. I would never go to any site. I would never go to any concert. Like I would never want to be a part of any fandom or know of any fandom. I would just want to like, oh, somebody dropped a new song. I'm gonna listen to it and then like move on. So if somebody said to me like, oh well, like my coworkers, like when BTS was performing at the award shows and stuff like that, they're like, oh, should we give it a try, whatever? And I'm like, no, no, you shouldn't. Like, I was like, you know what, like if you want to listen to a song here or there, that's fine, but like don't go any farther down that rabbit hole because it's just like it's really messed up. Like it is like it's not just the music, it's not just even like the racism and the xenophobia, but like the fat shaming and like the extreme dieting and
The
the
whole
mental health
industry.
and the
Yeah.
drugs, and it's like it's a really dark world, and like the prostitution and like there's so many negative aspects of it that people don't really talk about except for like the moments when they have to I can never say this word sensualize the situation. But it's like not like I don't know, I can't really say it's not worth it because I'm still obviously like in it, and I still listen to music and shade and all the gossip and all the tea and all the fun. There are fun stuff or fun aspects of it, right? And I made a lot of really good friends, or met a lot of good friends through it. So like, it's not like the worst thing I've ever done, but at the same time, it's a lot, you know. It is just a lot, and you really have to deal with racism and sexism, misogyny, things like that here. The things that you escape to should be escapes from that, K-pop is not in that regard, because the same situations that you deal with here are situations that you do that you're exposed to there. And so I would say for like your mental health in a lot of ways, especially if you're one of those people who have to be like completely absorbed into these idols and their lives, like it's just not worth it.
Okay. Anyone else? Would anyone else advise their friends to get involved in this idol K-pop lifestyle?
How old are the friend? How old is the friend?
Age is a quantifier for you, Jay.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if they've been known about K-pop for a while, and they're gonna hopefully know how things are, they'll probably, well, I hope they will most likely be like, okay, whatever. But I mean, if they're like these new fans, then I'd say don't even start because it's like a whole different mindset now, just how things are. That I don't think now they would be able to let it go. So, I mean, yeah, they can feel how they want to feel and things like that. But I mean, it's just something that is always a constant. Like, there's, if not monthly, like once something's gonna happen once every 2 months at least. Somebody's gonna say something or do something racist, and then gonna go through the whole spiel of like, you know, like why that's wrong, and things like that, and then it's gonna happen again. And so it's like you, from my point of view, like I just got tired of like explaining and things like that, and I was just like, okay, if that's how they're gonna be, then okay, I'm just gonna leave it, let them be that way and stuff. So yeah, yeah. Oh, I
Hello.
was I was done. I was done.
Yeah, I thought he was done too. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Ash?
Hello?
Oh, hey.
Oh,
You
I
didn't.
was. Did you guys hear anything I said?
No.
No.
Okay, never mind then. Okay. Um,
All right.
um, Demon, did you have anything to add? No?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I just wanted to say that for me, I've been a K-pop fan since 2008, 2009, and which is a long ass time. And for me, being black and listening to K-pop, I mean, I agree a lot with what Nat said, and in general, um, it's kind of difficult. I wouldn't want to have to explain it to anybody. Um, and there have been moments where Nat also mentioned where you also feel like, oh well, that's it. I'm not going to listen to this anymore, or I'm kind of, I'm getting too old for this, or I'm getting too, this is getting too, repetitive. This is getting too tired. You know, I'm, I'm going to stop, sort of deal. And there's just something about it, whether it's the music or it's the production or it's the culture or something that kind of pulls you back in. And I think that at the end of the day, that regardless of how the culture may feel about you, you shouldn't let that stop you from appreciating aspects of it. If you want to enjoy something, then that's your freedom to be able to find pleasure in these things, even if there are negative aspects of it that cause you pain or hurt. And I think as long as you kind of realize and are kind of aware of those things and have a rational perspective on it, then that's on you to kind of integrate that into, your life, however you decide to, like Nat said, take the L, however you decide to kind of deal with it. So, I mean, for me, I just kind of rationalized it by, I very interested in the social, you know, societal aspects of K-pop and how, all of this kind of goes down on social media, and how people are kind of coming to terms with this kind of clash of cultures with K-pop becoming more prominent. But at the same time, yeah, I do enjoy the music on occasion, at least now as well. So yeah, I mean, it's going to continue to be kind of a difficult thing, but I think the worst thing that we can do is try to explain it away or try to hide it or try to, rationalize it or make it okay. I mean, nobody is, it's okay to like what you like, but at the same time, keep your head straight. I mean, keep your eyes open, realize what's going on. And, I think at the end of the day, how you decide to come to terms with that is up to you. So that's all I have to say on that. Um, Sorry, I don't have anything happier to talk about after that little discussion. But um, speaking about idols in a more targeted way, Hara, former member of Kara, um, reportedly attempted suicide a few weeks ago. She posted a troubling message on Instagram and that said goodbye. Her manager found out about it and tried to contact her and couldn't get in touch with her. So, um, rushed to her house to kind of, check on her. And following that entire episode, Hara released a statement about her health to the media. She was unconscious in the hospital for a while, but she, basically announced that, she was sorry for causing concern, that she was recovering. She's feeling distressed due to some incidents that had piled up, and that she would try her best to show a healthy side of herself, and basically apologize for something that she should have to apologize for. But um, that's the case. Um, and, as of, I guess, a week or so ago, was taking part in uh, kind of a Kara anniversary activities, Camellia, for Kara fans, or Camellia, um, and seems to be doing okay from what she's been posting on social media. Um, in other news, her ex, who in the past, not that long ago in the news, basically kind of started this whole drama about a domestic incident between the two, um, where he had said that she had assaulted him, and when it turned out that he most likely was the one that was doing the assaulting, and would face charges of assault and blackmail. And he's also facing 3 other charges for punishment of sexual crimes, for filming body parts without consent, assault causing bodily harm, intimidation, coercion, and destruction and damage of property. So he's trash, and hopefully will get face some sort of actual charges in court. But unfortunately, well, fortunately, Hara is okay. But unfortunately, this is kind of the latest incident, where we've seen idols kind of not be okay, have kind of shown that there are issues there. And I think Nat kind of alluded to the fact that the entire industry, there's just a lot of shady stuff going on. And, with the whole BI issue and the drugs and everything, is kind of like, I've seen in a lot of circles, is like, how can you be surprised that these people do take drugs or take, things to kind of keep them up or maybe keep them going? Because, I mean, with the kind of schedules and the kind of life that they lead, how else would they be able to keep up? And, in that sense, it's like, you know, how can you kind of condemn these people that were taken as, some of them as preteens and kind of raised in these, conditions where that's all they know is to just kind of, work in and work to the point of where they can't work anymore. And, now some of them are extremely famous and they're still asked to work to the very extent of their abilities. Um, does anyone have anything? I think one of you guys is a camellia. Is it Nat? That's a camellia, or maybe I'm.
I like Kara. I wouldn't say that I am a stan in the same way, but I do love a lot of their music, and I am probably like a bigger fan of Guara than any of the other girls.
Mhm.
Just because I watched that documentary type show she had, um, after the Nicole and the Jin Young left, so I kind of, I don't know, I learned a lot about Kara and just Kuhara in general through through some of that stuff. So
Have you been following everything that was going on with
yeah,
her
of
ex-boyfriend?
course.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trash. Obviously, K-Nets were trash for like making it seem like she was responsible because, of course, like victim shaming is like the same no matter where you are in the world. It's just a constant, unfortunately. And the suicide attempt was like really scary. Thankfully, that was averted, and she went to the hospital. She got the immediate help and assistance that she needed, and hopefully, when she mentioned that she was going to go to Japan for a bit, I was like, that's good, because people in Korea seem to like dislike her because she made a lot of money through Kara, and now she can just kind of live off of that money. But she still, like, instead of like retiring completely, she still wants to make music and be in the public gaze. And I guess people are like kind of resentful about it. And so her going to Japan is great because they love Kara there, they love the members. And so I think it's just like a healthier place for her to be. And she looks good. I saw her Instagram pics and she looks good. She seems like she's on the path to recovery, and I hope it continues. I mean, the fact that the boyfriend is like opening a new salon and like he's still kind of, out there, like shamelessly out there, is just so disgusting and so telling on the fact that Me Too, has done a lot, but there's so much further that it needs to go in order to um, provide equality and just, stop the cycle of abuse that we see, So I wish Guhara like all the best, and like Kara and the former members as well too. Like I hope that they, rally around her if they're friends. I don't, you never know about these things, but if they actually like are real friends and like they're worried about, Guhara, I hope they do rally around her and like that they, live their best lives. It's kind of what I want for them. I would love for them to, come back and give us some more bobs, but if they can't, if they don't want to, then that's fine as well. It just sucks, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, like the whole situation was really unfair from the beginning. And, like she's clearly the victim here, but she was never really treated like that. And thankfully,
Yeah.
she didn't succeed,
Yeah.
is kind of what I'll take from that. And she's hopefully gonna look back on that and just like as a learning lesson maybe, and what to do or what not to do. And she stays getting therapy. If she has to go on medication, that's also something that might be beneficial. But I do hope that she can continue making music and doing beauty guru stuff, because I think that's what she really wants to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in related news, in a recent Q&A with her fans on her Instagram stories, Taeyeon of Girls' Generation recently opened up about her recent battles with depression. Um, it was kind of an informal Q&A, and she basically answered the questions that she was given pretty bluntly. She was asked, "Are you doing well? Um, do you read YouTube comments?" And she was just like, "No." She was asked, a question about how to get over a slump, and she responded, "I'm not good at getting over it, so I just live in a slump." And some people actually were offended by the answers that she gave and said, "Why are you being so disrespectful today?" And she answered back, "Oh, so this is disrespectful." And the person, said, "Do you know how to say no?" And she said, "Sorry." And another person wrote, "Now that you're 30, please grow up." And she answered, "30s or 40s, it's all the same." Well, one fan sent her a message, "It's okay if you don't post anything on Instagram. It's okay just to communicate with us on stories like this." And Taeyeon said that, "I've been sick for the past while. Please understand why I've refrained from posting on social media. Thank you, and I'm sorry." And she said to another question, "I promise to communicate better when I'm feeling better." And another person, this is probably one people have heard a lot, "Is this bipolar disorder, tisk tisk?" And she wrote back, "No, I am suffering from depression. I'm working hard to get better through treatment with antidepressants, whether it's depression or bipolar disorder. Please don't tisk and treat people disrespectfully. They are all patients who are suffering." Um, she basically, sent out, a message to other people who are being treated for depression saying that it's okay. She did have some fans that, sent her support, and she said that she was going to be okay, and she decided to talk to them because she needed to pep herself up, and that she was sorry for making them worry, and she was glad that her fans were there for her. uh Reportedly, which I didn't know, Taeyeon has revealed that she has suffered from depression as far back as 2009, but obviously this is getting extensive play now, about her issues with depression and mental illness, and everyone knows how Korea usually treats these kind of issues. But I will say, regardless of other things Taeyeon has said and done, that I did gain some respect for her for the things that she said about mental health. And for someone that is so prominent in the idol world, it's good to have someone with that kind of platform that is able to kind of speak freely and honestly about those issues. So, anyone have anything to say about that, or idol depression issues with our Taeyeon, or idol mental health?
I think mental health is just becoming more and more maybe like an epidemic, I feel. And it's not that our parents or grandparents and people like that didn't deal with mental health issues, but I feel like social media really allows you to communicate and be open in ways that they weren't able to before, because they're a little bit more isolated. But the
being able to be anonymous on the internet has allowed a lot of people to sort of be a lot more open on with that. And so you have a lot of people dealing with it, different types and different forms and different ways. And I mean, I can't imagine being an idol and not having to deal with some sort of mental stress because of, you know, the type of industry that it is. It doesn't really treat you as a human being. And so, like, I'm not surprised just in general, like for any idol, um, when I hear like that they are dealing with some sort of mental health issues. I mean, with Taeyeon, like I knew from before that she has sort of always been really weird, like not weird, but like introverted. Though she is kind of strange sometimes, not gonna lie, but like introverted in just like she did. Like I remember like reading something about like her never leaving her room, like ever. Like so she just literally just lives in there if she can, because she doesn't like to go out. She doesn't like to socialize and things like that. And I remember something about there being like a club for like depression at SME. So I think Lee Took was in it and Taeyeon was in it. I don't know who else was in it, but it was basically a place for all of them to sort of like talk to other people who had depression. So I mean, the agencies know about it, and it's not like a secret in some ways. I Tan's always like a really touchy subject because you know of her comments in the past, and so it's really hard because like you know mental health is something that I've also struggled with. So like also you know I'm usually very empathetic when I hear about these issues with a lot of people, even you know people who I'm generally not super empathetic towards, like Taeyeon. And so when I heard about this story in particular, I thought it was actually really positive because the one thing you should do when you are in that situation is talk about it. I think it's more dangerous when you don't talk about it and you sort of bottle it up. So the fact that she's being honest and open with her fans is a really, it's actually much better for her, I think, and also for fans who take inspiration from it and who see that she's willing to talk about it. So it's not like a taboo subject. It's not something that they have to pretend doesn't exist. I mean, it's okay to talk about it because somebody that they look up to is talking about it. And I mean, the fact that she, you know, admitted that it's depression and admitted that she's taking antidepressants, that's like a big deal. I don't think even 5 years ago in K-pop somebody would openly admit this. So it's kind of showing that things are changing, hopefully for the better. Um, the asshole friend who was like tisk tisk and like you should you know be better at 30 and stuff like that. I mean, unfortunately, you're gonna deal with that regardless of where you live and you know the people you know, whether they're close personal friends, family. Like some people just don't get it, and some people don't know how to be empathetic, and they don't want to. So unfortunately, that's something that you know you'll always sort of confront in your plan or your goal to become you know healthy, you know like healthy person, however that looks, you know. So I don't know, I kind of applaud her for how she handled the criticism and for her willingness to speak on it and to be open about you know her recovery. And I kind of don't wish that type of pain and suffering on her. uh and so yeah, I don't know, I you know we're talking about K-pop and like we're talking about the L's that you have to take and things like that, and it just sort of all comes together. Yeah, but good for Tiana. I see that she's in Germany and she's busking and singing like Adele, and she's you know recovering the way that she recovers and doing the thing that she loves, which is singing, and good for her. That's really all I have to say on that, I think, for now.
Awesome. Good. Lots of hot takes from that tonight. Any other comments about that particular topic, or about Taeyeon, or idols and mental health, or Hara? No? Okay. Well, then this segment is basically a free for all. That's all of the news topics that I have for this episode. So, if you guys have anything in particular that you wanted to talk about or discuss that we have not covered, please feel free to discuss it right now or forever hold your peace.
I did want to talk about like maybe like the top, 4 or 5 songs of 2019 so far, because we're like, by the time this episode goes out, we're gonna be halfway through the year. But I don't know. I feel like everyone's really tired or something, so I don't really know if that's something we should save for the next episode.
Yeah, I that's a good idea, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's something we might have to think about for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think thinking is not very high on everyone's list right now, considering how late it is. Um, but it is a very good idea, and I think we should put that on the docket for next episode. So I will make a note of that. Um, was there any news that we missed, or anything that happened on social media, or any topics that you guys wanted to bring up?
Tiffany's going on her first North American tour. It's going to be 18 tour dates. So I assume what she did before was technically a showcase. So it was technically not a tour.
Because it was one show, right? Or two?
No, she did like 8 shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did like maybe like 6 to 8 shows. But this is like, looks like it's supposed to be like an actual tour. Yeah, so that's gonna be kind of interesting because it looks like she's gonna release some new music as well too, and it's called Magnetic Moon. So she'll probably release an album called Magnetic Moon, I assume, before she officially goes on tour. But tickets go on sale next week, so there's that.
If it's not 80s influenced, then I'm not here for it. I Just Want to Dance was like the one song from Tiffany that, you know, I could listen to
Yeah,
and
well,
yeah, over. So yeah, I'm all for the 80s aesthetic if she's gonna do that again.
well, based on her showcase, the covers that she did were all like old school songs. It was like Madonna's "Express Yourself" and NSYNC's "Gone." I think
Okay.
there was another one. So I feel like her personal taste in music is right on line with that, but it, I mean, people sort of release what they think is going to hit. So
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of tell in these ways. And I mean, who knows with Tiffany what she's doing? She's always hustling, right? So
All right. Jay, was there anything that you wanted to add, or anything that you wanted to announce or bring up?
Not that I can think of right now. No.
Okay. Jimin, you? No? Any shout outs?
To our listeners, of course.
of course.
All right.
Thank you for clicking on our links and supporting us.
Oh,
Yes,
and
yes.
if you guys want to be more interactive, we're going to be talking about the top songs of 2019 so far. So in the comments, you guys should give us your top 3, and we're going to discuss our own top. I don't know, 3 or 5. We haven't decided yet. And yeah, we'll see if everybody's in line or if there's some surprise contenders, and just get a feel for 2019 K-pop.
hasn't been very good for me. So we'll see if it's been good for you.
We'll manage somehow.
Oh yeah.
But yes, if you have any suggestions for us or just want to make it known when you feel that the best songs of the year are so far, please let us know in the comments and we may read them out loud on the show. So, yes, please do that as well. Any more shout outs, messages, announcements?
Mm,
No.
nope, not that I can think of.
I think Jimin's asleep.
She's
Who?
making a
I'm not
sandwich.
asleep.
She's awake. She's being very quiet. Okay. All right. Well, if there's.
Honestly,
Oh,
oh,
go ahead.
I,
Ooh.
throat issues, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. I will sniff that out. Um, okay. Well, that was another episode of Not Your Average Netizens. You can always catch us on our SoundCloud page. That is where our main podcast links are at. And that is Not Your Average Netizens on SoundCloud. We are also on Twitter at NYA Netizens. We have our Instagram at Not Your Average Netizens. Jimin is always very dedicatedly updating that page. And we also can be contacted at notyouraveragenetizens@gmail.com. If you have any questions, any suggestions, just want to yell at us, whatever, drop us a line at our Gmail and we may read it on the air. Who knows? But yes, we love um, to talk to our listeners and kind of get a feel for what you all like about our show and want to hear more of. We're always thinking about new ways to kind of change things up. We have a new episode coming up soon that will be more of a topic based episode and will kind of focus on one issue as opposed to multiple things like we typically do. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys for always for listening, for retweeting, for being just really great supporters of the podcast and keeping us out there. And we promise that we will be here at 12 o'clock in the morning recording podcasts for you to listen to. So I believe that is it. And I hope you guys stay tuned for us on our next podcast. And thank you so much for listening. Bye, you all.
Bye.
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 Follow us all on those
Bye.
links. Go do it right now. Send us an email. Oop. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.